All right, so in the quest for the mighty apple, we're tied at X number to Y number. Like they're both schools of the Appletons have the same amount of sports played, and bowling is the tiebreaker. I'm curious where in the line these sports are drawn. Do you think the chess teams at each school competed for the mighty apple?
I mean, yeah, because otherwise, wouldn't that have just been the tiebreaker?
What about the cornhole teams?
What about the esport team? Bring out League
I
of
don't know if
Legends.
esports existed in the year 2000,
That's fair.
but like imagine it all comes down to like the Overwatch clubs playing against each other. That's what the remake of this is gonna be. And you have the ultimate jock who's like getting athletic sponsorships, who's like gotta learn how to play fucking Overwatch.
It's like midline a thing. I know that's a thing in League where it's like mid lane
Okay,
strikes.
actually, no, this is way funnier if we think about it as League.
League of
Imagine a
Legends.
group of kids who play League of Legends as a club in their school have to welcome in, like, athletic jock kid, like, for the life of the school. And everyone's like, oh my god, our League of Legends cafe is gonna be saved. This is gonna be saved because everyone's gonna care about League.
Bro, you just gotta make it fun. We're hosting a League tournament this weekend, and the business is gonna start flooding in. Welcome, everybody, to the DCOM Duo podcast.
I'm BenG,
I'm Kelsey.
and we're the DCOM duo.
podcast.
But today,
We have a special guest.
oh my god, we're the DCOM trio once again, but with someone new. Hello, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Finch.
Hi, Finch.
This is Finch, another Jank House member. We've had so many Jank House members now. I think most of them.
The entire house has watched at least one DCOM at one point.
Yeah, Finch, you were around for a chunk of them, I would say. You were definitely this one.
I would say out of people on the podcast, you were probably the person who's watched the fourth most.
Because Beans watch them all too.
Beans watched them all. And then I think it's pretty close between you, Ben, and Bay.
Yeah.
About who would have the next most.
Mm-hmm.
But the fates hate me, and it took 2 years to draw my movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, we've been spinning these wheels.
You most movie. We have you for You Wish too.
And we have you for Rip Girls.
Oh, you're gonna love me,
Three-
Rip Girls.
Your
Yeah.
3 favorite DCOMs. You want to talk about your history with the marathon and also with Disney Channel in general?
Sure, I was a Disney Channel kid. I mostly just liked High School Musical as a kid. I didn't really realize there were a lot of DCOMs, and then Benji and Kelsey were like, "There's over 100 DCOMs. Should we watch them all as a house?" And then we did. I think I ended up watching like maybe 60 or 70.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and at what cost, you know? It's a wonderful bonding experience, and also sometimes miserable. We hid.
Everyone needed something to do during COVID. This was ours, and COVID's still going on.
A good way as any to pass the time.
Yeah.
Any thoughts or anything you want to share with the millions of people listening at home about anything in general? Yeah, the mic is yours.
I'm unfortunately known as one of the Jank House sports guys, and it's very embarrassing to me that the first time I'm here is for a sports movie.
We need an expert.
This is more a romance movie.
You're right, and at least it's not a football movie. It could be worse.
Yeah, it's a very niche.
I think they do kick the bowling ball, so it's a football in a sense.
Yeah, it's a very niche sport, DCOM. Which there are a few like DCOMs where like we're gonna take this weird sport.
That is a genre of DCOM that this probably pioneered. No, I guess Brink pioneered it.
Yeah,
Brink did. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a successor to Brink in a lot of ways, actually.
Yeah.
Well, they're very different films.
It's the first Alley Cat strike.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if we actually ever physically said the title until now.
Oh yeah.
We watched Alley Cat Strike. You clicked on it says it right on the title.
Yeah, Alley Cat Strike, the bowling DCOM that none of us had seen before watching, every single DCOM we watched in the marathon. And we were like, oh my god, this movie is actually so good. So gay.
This movie is shockingly fun. Like, It's one of those where if someone else doesn't like this, I fully can understand that because it's definitely a specific vibe. But all of us that have watched it have really enjoyed that vibe. It's got magic to it that like a lot of these other bad films do not. Well, and it's got some good stuff to it, but it's also just very memorable in a fun way.
I'll never forget the first time we watched this as a house and just like kind of the slow realization of like, what is this movie?
Yeah.
It just keeps going. It's so consistently, what is this movie?
It starts off wacky in a grounded way, and it never loses that, which is really impressive. It never stops being wacky in a grounded way.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't think we have fan mail.
Yes, we do not have fan mail today. If you want to send us fan mail, please do. Email us at thedcomduo@gmail.com. Otherwise, like, comment on YouTube,
TikTok.
TikTok, whatever. We'll probably, hopefully, maybe see it. Another quick programming note. A week after this episode airs is our next mini-sode. So we'll be ranking the last 10 DCOMs that we've watched, putting them in our master list, and building up the ranking for that.
And doing something else.
We
don't know what yet.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It'll be fun, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Maybe because we just did this, we shouldn't dip back into fanfic. Although there's got to be good ones on this one.
Oh yeah,
We've done 2 fanfics.
Yeah, we've read some fanfic.
The Going to the Mat fanfic.
That one, okay, the Going to the Mat one was so good. It was so good. It was my favorite one. They like shipped the 2 main characters. It was amazing. But also we did High School Musical 2, and the Chad Ryan one was.
We were
very
literally
spicy.
reading smut on podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, that one was pretty graphic.
So if you want something like that, tune in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also we'll figure out where everything ranks.
Heck yeah. This one's going to the top. I don't know. We'll see.
It's a good movie, so
I'll go in your comments and harass you if you don't rank it.
all right. And with that, we can get into the factos. So this is a film that released March 18th in the year 2000. That was the 15th DCOM ever made. So
that's really early.
Wow.
Still quite early on, yeah. I feel like the part of that is there's a lot of DCOM formula within this, but you can also tell it was not fully like the refined formula process plot that everything is.
Yeah.
There's still some distinctness to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The director of this film is Rod Daniel. We have covered a film of his before, being Genius.
Fun. So 2 wild DCOMs.
He's probably best known for being the director of Teen Wolf.
The original?
The original Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox. Other films that he's directed include Beethoven's Second, Home Alone 4, and K9. So not a crazy amount of other stuff.
With Alley Cat Strike.
I believe this is one of the last films he ever did.
Wow.
So yeah. Thank you, Rod, for making this film. I appreciate it. Our star in this cast, playing Alex Thompson, who you wouldn't know it by the way that he's dressed, is Kyle Schmid. We briefly discussed him in the Cheetah Girls because
he has
a role in there, but
he's the love interest in Cheetah Girls. Really fun.
And he's love interest in this movie.
Yeah.
His most notable roles are probably 2 separate TV shows that he plays a vampire on.
Nice.
Being Blood Ties and Being Human. He otherwise has had like decent roles in The Pacifier, in The Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, in Big Sky.
I love The Pacifier.
And more recently, he was on last year's season as part of the main cast of the show NCIS Origins. That's the prequel NCIS show.
Oh, he's still going.
Good for you, Kyle.
Yeah, he's still
you.
acting out there. Still playing Todd McLemore is Robert Ri'chard.
Oh, Ri'chard.
It's
it's
Ri'chard with an apostrophe between R-I and R. I didn't look up the pronunciation. I think it's Ri'chard.
That's a good guess.
That would be my guess. He had a main role on the Nickelodeon sitcom Cousin Skeeter. This is all before, we were born a lot of the times. So, I don't know much about that, but it's interesting he jumped to Disney build this movie. He won a Daytime Emmy for his role in His Father's Shoes. He had other notable movie roles in House of Wax and Coach Carter. There's stuff that like vaguely I've heard of before. And he had recurring TV roles in Harlem, Empire, Vampire Diaries, and Veronica Mars. Still doing acting as well. Like doing stuff. Uh playing the role of Elisa is by far the most famous person associated with this movie, Kaylee Kyoko. She was Penny on The Big Bang Theory, which is just a massive mammoth role.
I've never watched Big Bang Theory, but everyone's like, "Oh, she's in Big Bang Theory." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I was watching this and I was like, "Is that Penny from the Big Bang?"
There you go. This was the question though. We told you we went to DCOM trivia. It was awesome. We got first.
We got
actually.
first. We got one question.
I know.
We got one question wrong.
Yeah, but what saved us though is because we ended up tying and then we won the tiebreaker. We wouldn't have tied and then won if we didn't get Kaylee Kyoko. And it was like Bay and Dylan helping us come up with her name because like we know she's in Big Bang Theory, but what the heck's her name? And so then
Dylan
that
ultimately was able to figure it out.
Dylan got it, and then we ended up winning the trivia.
I'm
So
so ashamed that I know the Big Bang Theory connection. This is terrible.
yeah.
It was a very famous show.
But not a good one.
People have harped on it for far too long for the fact that it brought joy to a lot of people. Like, I'm gonna defend Slop. I watched every Disney Channel original movie. People can enjoy less than perfect quality entertainment,
Yeah.
and it's fine. I feel like Big Bang Theory is something that society hates on too much. As someone who's only seen like 5 episodes, I have seen more than 0, but probably not more than 10.
I've seen 0. I've seen a scene, maybe.
The amount of misogyny and homophobia is staggering.
Oh.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
bad. Well, other than being Penny on The Big Bang Theory, Kaylee's been Harley Quinn on the Harley Quinn animated series. Other main TV roles that she had is on 8 Simple Rules, The Flight Attendant, which she got multiple Emmy nominations for, Charmed, Brandy, and Mr. Whiskers. That was a Disney Channel
That's
show.
animated show, yeah.
Yeah, she's the main person in that.
She's Brandy.
Yeah. And Bratz.
Bratz.
She was in Bratz and TV shows. Like
Oh,
the whole...
the animated, not the live action.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. For movie roles, she's had big roles in Hop, The Wedding Ringer, which she notably won the Golden Raspberry for Worst Actress for, in conjunction with her role for Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road Chip.
Wow.
Meet Cute, The Man from Toronto, among others. She's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
She's a star.
I guess.
Not much else to say. Speaking of not much else to say, playing the role of Delia is Mimi Paley, who has done not very much. She's done single episodes of Entourage, Malcolm in the Middle, The X-Files, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Hasn't done, like, basically anything else. Playing the role of Ken Long is Joey Wilcots, who's also basically done nothing else. He did single episodes of Rugrats and The Parenthood, and, like, has 2 other credits to his name on IMDb. Yeah. Playing the role of the mayor and Odstad, Jeff McLemore, is Tim Reed. The main roles that he's had, he's done a lot of TV shows. He was a main role in Sister Sister, on Simon and Simon, WKRP in Cincinnati, and Frank's Place, which he got Emmy nominations for that one. He's a lot of other TV credits. Not a lot of stuff that I know, but he's been a big actor, done a lot of stuff. He is married to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air actress, Daphne Maxwell Reid, who is also the wife in this film.
Cool.
Yeah. I thought that was an interesting, fun little connection. Playing the role of Kevin Thompson, that's Alex's dad, is Matt McCoy. He had decent roles in the 5th and 6th Police Academy movies. So you know this must be a real star when that's when I start with. He's had small recurring roles in Seinfeld, Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, Silicon Valley, other small credits all to this day. Playing the role of the Principal Morris. I don't even know if I needed to put him down, but he talked a surprising amount in this film. Like the one principal, the one actual schooler
Yeah.
you see in this film. For being a school movie, there's very little school.
It's about
Yeah.
sports with the school.
This is Hardy T. Lineham. He's primarily a Canadian stage actor. He's just basically done Broadway shows in Canada. That's kind of what he does.
Oh.
He won a Genie Award, or sorry, he was nominated for a Genie Award, which
Oh,
is
he
basically
didn't
the
win.
Canadian Oscars for a film called Shoemaker. So he was like at one point considered one of the best Canadian actors.
Is that the Canadian version of The Cobbler with Adam Sandler?
Probably better than that. Yeah, various small credits throughout the years. And finally, decided I should mention Lauren. She's popular girl.
Yeah, the cheerleader that they
Yeah.
talk to a lot. I was surprised how big of a character she was actually watching it.
She's having a party.
Yeah,
She-
she's party.
Oh my god, are you gonna go to Lauren's
Going to
car?
a party?
That's Laura Vandervoort.
Oh,
Vandervoort.
Laura plays Lauren.
Yeah, we've actually talked about her in the past because she's the main role in Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
She's the main girl in that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you went back and added her. It's really important to know. That was our first episode. It was the first movie we watched in the marathon. That was our first episode of the podcast. Lovely. So a long time ago, we talked about her.
She is Supergirl, or was Supergirl on Smallville.
Oh.
So big there, and she's released on V, and she's still a pretty active actress to this day.
Cool.
Still doing stuff out there. So yeah.
Mm.
For fun facts, I really couldn't find as much as I wanted to, but the one thing I do find quite fascinating,
Yeah.
which was this film's Wikipedia page went like viral back in like the 2010s because for seemingly no apparent reason, it was determined that the single film in the entire English language Wikipedia with the longest plot summary was Alley Cat Strike, and it wasn't even really close. It was like 5,000 words of plot description describing this film, which is very insane. And like some just journalist from Slate found this out and was like writing about it. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty funny. I have like the original description on Wikipedia here. I'm just gonna go to a random line and read off to let you know like the level of detail that they're going. Of course, Alex, Alicia, Delia, and Ken are delighted by this change in events as they enjoy seeing Todd, the golden boy, knock down a few pegs.
Kidding.
Like, what do you need that sentence in a plot summary?
What's Disney Plus?
Delighted.
So yeah, I think the Disney Plus description is a little short
Yeah,
comparatively.
Put this kind of detail in the Disney Plus description. What the heck? How am I supposed to know what the movie's about if they don't put in? Of course, they're delighted. My goodness.
Yeah. So basically, that's the entire thing. It's just I'm gonna show you quickly. This is like description. It is long. If you go on alleycatstrike.com, that's where it's like preserved. Yes. So
Posterity.
the original screenwriter kept it there because he's like, yeah, you know what? I want to keep that. That's very interesting. All right. So that's what I got for that. You want to hear the Disney Plus description?
I do.
I'm guessing it's shorter.
It's shorter than that. 4 outcast teenagers with a passion for bowling are thrust into the spotlight when the outcome of an inter-school competition is placed squarely on their shoulders. When the group learns that the most popular and athletic kid in school must be a part of the bowling team for the competition, the teens need to set aside their differences and learn to work together to win the trophy and the adoration of their town.
Why the hell are there triple dot between
The ellipsis.
the trophy and the adoration? Like you could just
it's not
say
a dramatic addition there. You could say the trophy and adoration.
Yeah, I don't know why they were trying to pause for effect there. That's stupid.
It also works worse in text, you know?
Yeah. They did that
If-
so much in the Disney Plus descriptions. Honestly.
Honestly, for being like such an inconsequential part of this, it's insane some of the stuff we find in the Disney Plus description. Halloween Town 1 and 2 have objectively incorrect information in their descriptions.
It's so funny.
It's very funny.
I love it. No, nothing else has been blatantly wrong like Halloween Town, but yeah.
All right, that concludes the factos.
Yeah. Are you ready to jump into the movie?
Oh, I am so ready to motocross into this movie.
All right, so we open up There's a bowling pin, there's a trophy, there's a ball, there's like 50s music playing, swing music. Is that from the 50s?
They talk about like playing music from 50 years ago, and the film released in
Oh my
2000.
god, so that's totally accurate. Yeah. And the first line of the movie is, I guess you wouldn't know it from what I wear, but my name is Alex.
We've been quoting this for so long, and apparently we had it wrong.
Wrong. Because whenever I quote this, I say, like, my name's Alex, but you wouldn't know that. And it's like, flip that in the actual script. I couldn't believe it when I wrote it down. I, like, preemptively wrote it down and had to delete it to get the exact wording. I'm like, what do you mean we were misquoting it?
I
Yeah.
love it's such a fascinating opening line.
Yeah.
Generically, like that is an opening line that is very much stuck with me. And also, this movie consistently has like spoken over narration by Alex.
Yeah, it, like, freeze frames, and he narrates just all the time.
I do think a lot of the time is to his detriment. This opening sequence. It's to its benefit because it really gets the wacky energy going right away.
Yeah. Yeah, and at first we just had such a big reaction when we watched it the first time because we like had subtitles on and we're like, what the f do you mean you don't know like your name's Alex, why would you wear? And it's because he has all these bowling shirts that have weird names on them.
He's the type of guy that's just like, you know what's fun? Having a shirt that says someone else's name on it.
Hell yeah.
He got him from the back of a bowling alley.
Yeah. Well, that's the rumor.
Where is that he got in the back of a bowling alley? So he lives in West Appleton and he's like, I have
Fuck
great
East
friends.
Appleton.
Am I
West
right?
Appleton till we die.
I have great friends. And then it freeze frames on all the friends. We get a little intro for them. So we have Ken, Elisa, Delia, and then Alex, of course, coming out of Nancy's old fashioned diner. So they like to listen to swing music and go to this old fashioned diner. We were born in the wrong generation, am I right?
Yeah, this is definitely the wrong generation.
Ken is a music guru, so he's the one that gets them all on this swing music. Elisa is stylish and also a very good bowler. And then there's Delia. She makes up in brain what she lacks in bowling brawn. And then after breakfast, they go to Alex's dad's bowling alley and they bowl. And one of them, I think Alex,
I
still
think
in
Alex.
voiceover, says, I love the smell of rental shoes in the morning. Ugh.
I feel like a lot of times DCOMs have a problem in making the unpopular kids like that you're trying to cheer for. You're wondering why are they unpopular? They're like, there's no reason for it.
Right, like
These kids, it makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah. Like we just watched recently How to Build a Better Boy, and it's like, oh, I don't have any friends, and it's like you are like beautiful and you are nice. Like why do you mean you don't have friends? Vanessa Hudgens in High School Musical, she's like, I'm gonna be the weird nerd girl, and it's like you are so beautiful and nice. Like you made friends instantly when you got here. I don't know what you're talking about.
If you wanted to make this point, maybe don't cast Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah, but these kids are weird, so it makes sense.
These kids, they fully sell it with it now.
Like, we just go to the old diner and bowl and listen to swing music, and everyone else is like, yeah, you guys just do that. That's so cool. But then there's school. So there's like a big pep rally happening outside, and this is still voiceover. Alex is like, you see Todd McElmore? The one with the winning smile? God, we haven't talked about this yet. This movie, they are so in love with each other.
This is something that is extremely underreported. Everyone, by the end of our first watch through of this film, fully agreed that this is a romance film. It is a sports film. It still is.
Yeah.
And that's why it really scratches that itch for me, and I love that.
We just really are shipping
So
these middle
bendy,
schoolers
yeah.
hard.
These middle schoolers are like have the best romantic chemistry like any DCOM has.
Yeah.
And it's not written for that, you know? It's crazy.
The number one thing out of everyone's mouth about Alley Cat Strike should be how in love Alex and Todd are.
So true.
And it's a crime that it's not.
Like, good on Disney for, in the year 2000, making an interracial gay romance sport movie about bowling.
That they were totally doing intentionally.
How do you do this accidentally?
Yeah, definitely.
Think about this for a second. Think about all the hits that are within here. How is this an accident?
Our introduction is that he's a winning smile. Who thinks that? Alex. My God. He says this is his world, the World Series of Athletics, the world I'll never understand. They're fighting for the Big Apple Trophy, which is only interesting to me because it slightly resembles a bowling ball.
This is the type of quotes that we're gonna have throughout like the whole movie, where it's just like,
Flawless.
no one talks like that.
No.
Yeah.
It's such a fascinating way to put certain things, and I really appreciate. Again, something I was telling Kelsey when we were watching this film is I don't think Alex is a good character, like written wise at all.
No, it's very
His
inconsistent.
performance doesn't make sense. His character motivations don't really make sense, and like where he'll put inflections and like motivations doesn't really work.
Yeah.
This movie works in spite of all of that
Yes.
because it's like building a vibe around this very badly written character.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like when they wrote Alley Cat Strike, they were just like, what's something no one would say in this scenario? And then they went with that.
Yeah. He likes the trophy that has the apple on it because it's round
It
and it
looks
looks
like
like a bowling ball. It's absolutely insane.
It's like, yeah, kid, we get it. You like bowling. It doesn't even look like a bowling ball.
So if West Appleton wins tonight, they tie up the whole tournament.
The Mighty Apple
yeah,
Cup or
the
whatever.
Mighty Apple.
We can explain this briefly because it's a big piece of context. This entire school, sorry, not school, this entire town
Yeah.
and the neighboring town of East Appleton, we don't know where these places are. I don't think we ever get the state or
No,
anything.
I don't think so.
They are an entire mecca that is entirely focused. The like life focus of this town is which middle school is better at sports between the two of them, and that's all they care about. And I love this.
Because these
They're not even high schools.
it says junior high. Like they are middle schoolers competing in these sports.
And with every adult in the film cares about this. There's not like one that doesn't. Even the ones that like they'll talk to briefly are like, thought you didn't care about it. It's like, no, I want to win this.
I care about this so much.
Elected officials.
Yeah.
Mayor. Especially like I mean the mayor of West Appleton, his son is the star. So it makes sense a little more for him.
The mayor of East Appleton hires a professional bowler to teach the star-studded that he presumably rigged to get on the bowling club.
Yeah.
Which is
Absolutely
very
insane.
funny.
It's absolutely insane.
So we like that's important context is we're going to be talking a lot about East Appleton versus West Appleton. There's a lot of lore behind all of this and all that.
Yeah.
They never lampshade it at all. And I really appreciate it. They like are always saying, no, this is like the most important thing to this town.
Yeah. It must be
Good
really
instance.
small town. Two really small
To
towns.
be fair, if you had this type of dichotomy, I'm the type of person who would be like, this is actually very interesting. Like a
Yes, you are.
multi-sport, multi-school competition done annually, where every sport has like this equal weight to it, would really get you to care about some of the less popular sports. Bowling. Fuck bowling.
I wonder
But
what
chess.
sports. We do get a list later. He says like I led victory in these certain sports.
Yeah, we get to hear a fair number of them. The one that
Yeah.
really stuck out to me, you maybe wrote this down, maybe not later, is they're like, oh, they're gonna finally throw the women's cross country score. So they're like the scandal in women's cross country.
Like, yeah, I want a full list of what they compete in because bowling was not one of them. It's on the list of tiebreaker. Like,
So
tournaments.
who determined at the beginning bowling is an acceptable backup sport, but not an A
It
level.
doesn't count until it does.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because when they explained that bowling's a backup, they said like it's the only one both teams have a team. So they have this list of backups that the schools don't have teams for.
What's the point?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Well, apparently neither like school knew the tiebreaker procedure. It was like
Never
sealed
tied.
away.
Yeah, they
There's
didn't
a
find it.
sealed file in case of emergency. Like you can only open.
Okay, if you have an even amount of sports, it's never fucking tied before.
That's
Like,
a good point.
What the hell?
Oh, maybe like I'm thinking there's like 120 competitions, something like
You
that.
think so?
Because not only do you have every sport that you can think of in
In middle school.
in another thing, they're middle school sports, but this is also a full calendar year. It's not like a semester by semester basis or anything.
But it looks like it's fall.
It looks like it's
in
fall.
the
We're pretty
movie.
confident it's fall.
That's a
so
good
it seems
point,
like it
yeah.
goes like calendar year to calendar year. It's really weird. Especially
Yeah.
it ends with basketball. That's the last of the standard season.
Yeah, and that's in the
It's a winter
That's
sport.
winter. That's winter sport. What the hell is happening?
The
When do you-
timeline of this film makes no
It
sense.
makes no sense.
I can't believe somebody didn't think this through in a DCOM. That's so unlike a DCOM.
Yeah. Come on, screenwriter Greg Pincus. What were you doing?
Doing.
Come on, Greg.
Anyway, we've gotten pretty derailed. I mean, we were talking about the movie, but let's get back.
We're
to
talking about stuff that needed to get talked
Yeah.
about at some point.
Okay. So they're at the pep rally. They're talking about like if we win tonight, we tie up the competition, but if we lose, the trophy goes to East Appleton forever.
So, to spoil the little bit of like a reveal later, the schools are turning into one school.
Yeah.
So they're gonna retire the cup.
Yes. Alex and his friends call Todd the golden boy. That's as like derogatory. Like we hate you. And Todd gives a little like short speech. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna win tonight. See y'all at the game." And Alex says, "How would Todd McElmore and my worlds ever collide? I just don't see it."
And
And
that's definitely not setting up the plot of the movie.
Yeah, and in parentheses, I wrote gay.
As you should.
So then Alex and his friends walk over, or just walk around the school after the pep rally, and they run into Todd and Sports Guys. Hey, it's Strange Dude. You probably gamer night, Strange Dude. They say Strange Dude multiple times.
Yeah.
Strange Dude.
Todd's little lackeys, Flip and Leo, aren't really characters.
Flip and Leo, they do have
They
names.
do have names.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, I think it's just Leo comes in and he's just like, yo, strange dudes. What are you doing, strange dudes? Coming to the game, strange dudes. He says it so many times.
Really giving the impression that that's what he always calls them, which, like, how did you workshop it that long and not come up with something better?
They're like,
Well, what would be your derogatory nickname for the squad? Bowling idiots?
Bowling. Yeah, my brain gave me bowling.
Oh, you know what?
Sucks, but I still feel like it's better than strange dudes.
Pinheads?
Pinheads is
Yeah,
really good.
unfortunately, that's way better.
Yeah, so like you come into the game and they're like, no. And they're like, where's your school spirit? And then Todd's like, don't waste your breath. He already wants to stick up for Alex because he's in love with him. And the other guy like threatens them, and Delia's like, you, me, one game of horse, and I'll win. And then she like spits straight
She's
math
like,
back.
I use a backboard of a basketball hoop as a matrix to be able to find out the exact calculation of the shot,
Yeah.
and I get it accurately in every time. It's also such bullshit math.
Yeah. Especially like knowing what it takes, what angle to do is different than executing.
Right, yeah, it's just make your body do the math that your brain says.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then Todd shuffles Leo away.
It's like, come on, it's not worth
It's
it.
not worth
He was like, I would have beat her. I would have beat her. You could beat her, right?
You guys know I would have.
And you know what? He 100% would have.
Yeah, he would. And then the friends are like, Delia, have you ever even shot a basketball? And she says, wouldn't you like to know?
This is Delia's MO the entire time is saying she could do something and then being like, I don't need to prove it.
Wouldn't you like to know is her catchphrase?
Yeah.
My school spirit's in a box in my locker. Well, like, such a strange thing to say, too, because it's like implying that you have it and you're just like choosing not to.
It's in a box of my locker. I'm leaving it.
I'm like, I don't know, I'm keeping it for something special. It's like me the right person.
You know who that is?
Todd McElmore. Okay, so
With
now
a winning smile.
we're at the basketball game, and Todd is killing it.
Yeah, he's killing it, but West Appleton ain't.
Yeah.
They're down by like
Down.
8 at the moment. It's like right about the end of the half.
His parents are proud. They're in the crowd. And there's a commentator, and they're like, yeah, he's playing huge for the Wildcats today. So apparently they're the West Appleton Wildcats.
Yeah. What are the other team? We know what they are.
We do?
Yeah, they say it in the bowling one because they use the standard name.
Special. They use the standard name for the bowling team?
I believe they use the standard because it's nothing bowling related.
Oh, shit. I will go down and look at my notes then, because I definitely wrote that down. Do.
I hope it's alliterative. I hope it's something with an E. East Appleton Eagles or something.
It might be.
The big day.
Let me check the 4,000 page.
Oh, the wolf. Yeah, I got it.
The wolf packs.
It says the bowling wolf pack later, so maybe they're like
It's a
the
lame
wolves.
ass name.
Maybe
Oh.
they're the wolves.
The Wildcats and the Wolves. That's so confusing.
Yeah.
They call it wolf pack in the plot summary on the super long Wikipedia plot
so-
summary.
and it was accurate to my notes.
Yeah. I trust that with my life.
Wolf.
Yeah, as you should.
East Appleton wolf pack.
East Appleton Wolfpack.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like NC State, the college, their team name is Wolfpack
Okay.
in full.
Yeah. But yeah. So Wildcats versus Wolfpack. Yeah, they should just combine at this point. Jesus.
But then we lose on the Apple Cup. Mighty Apple.
And our identities as West and East Appleton.
This matters so much. How much percentage-wise do you think your approval rating goes up or down as a mayor if the middle school wins the Mighty
The
Apple?
Mighty Apple.
90.
the main legislative issue of each of these towns is winning the Mighty Apple.
Yeah, so Sweet Lou is commentating.
Yeah.
Lou,
Sweet Lou
my
will
beloved.
be here pretty consistently as a
Oh,
character.
he's the best.
He's there. He owns like a radio show where he hosts it. He's super into the game. At the bowling alley, Alex's dad is also listening to the coverage on the radio. So this gets broadcasted in both towns, probably. Lou mentions that there's never been a tie before, which is so fucking stupid. Elisa wants Alex's dad to turn off the radio because she's trying to bowl, and he's like, "Oh, whatever, I'll like put on headphones." And she says, "Blessed quiet. Now I can bowl."
I feel like out of the main squad of 4 pinheads that we have, Elisa is by far the most adorable, so it's really funny to me that she's the one that says, "Blessed quiet, now I can bowl."
She's one of the best bowler. I think Alex is probably the best
Yeah.
bowler of them, but Elisa's second.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I think it's just funny because I feel like she's the one that feels the least loser.
Yes. And that is a loser ass sentence to say.
Blessed quiet. Now I can bowl. Alex's head. She like bowls. Alex's head appears upside down, like where the pins. After she bowls, and the reset button's broken again. This comes back later, but whatever. They have no money to fix it. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
oh
get
my
a-
god. This bowling alley. It's like the family pride and joy, but no one goes bowling anymore because bowling's stupid.
Bowling's lame.
That's why Alex loves it, is because it's lame.
Yeah.
He flip flops so much about like wanting people to come to save the bowling alley, but not wanting people to come because it ruins bowling. Like he
He's such,
can't decide.
he's such an elitist about bowling.
Yeah, about bowling. He's
Way inside which he's such a realistic teenager. Like,
Yeah.
well, it ruins it if everyone likes it. It's
He's su-
pretty cool if only I like it.
They're such hipsters, but they're
Yeah.
hipsters to a way funnier era than a lot of the hipsters that in our generation were.
yeah, before like hipster became a really widespread like thing. They were hipsters for bowling. So yeah. Then Ken comes in. He's like, "What's up, cool cats?" And then he gives his dad the CD of swing music. So we go back to the basketball game. East Appleton leads by 1 point, and there's 3 seconds left of the game.
And the mayor fucking comes over of East Appleton and is like, "Yes, we won! Even though you have the ball with 3 seconds left, it's very possible to make a buzzer beater."
So West Appleton mayor, who's Todd's dad, is like, "It's not fucking over yet, guy." But also, like, if East Appleton wins this basketball game, they win the whole thing. So they're really like, "We already won. Let's psych them out." So the coach, they're all talking. They have 3 seconds left. They took a timeout, and Todd's like, "Give me the ball. Give me the ball." And they're like, "No, Todd, you're gonna be like triple covered." And he's like, "I don't care. Give me the ball." So they start the game. They do get the ball to Todd. He was not triple covered. It
At
was
all.
totally fine. They like
There's
pass
nobody
it.
near him.
They like
Yeah.
pass it 3 times, and there's only 3 seconds left. So I don't know why they have time for this. But he shoots and he scores. So West Appleton wins. And on the radio, he's like, "The grapple for the apple." Continue.
If they call it the grapple for the apple, that's just kind of wild.
Yeah. Back at the bowling alley, Alex's dad is super excited because West Appleton won.
Yeah, he's popping off.
Yeah, but
He's
of
one of the adults that care about this. Again, every adult,
Every other one.
every single character we meet cares deeply about this, except at the beginning of the film before Pinheads.
Yes.
Yeah, they do not care. And he's like, "This is the last battle for the apple. We need to win." He wants them all to like unite for a common good, and he's like, "I played for it back in the day too." And the kids
This
are
is
just like,
backstory we'll get in the third act. Ooh.
yeah, the kids are just like, yeah, that's cool. They don't care.
It
And
only kind of looks like a bowling ball.
Delia, because they're like, oh, who cares about the Mighty Apple? And Delia's like, it's ugly. Like, the Mighty Apple's ugly. So then back at the basketball court, the mayors talk and like, whatever. They're shit talking. Todd goes up to his parents, who's the mayor and the wife, and they talk Todd up. They're like, yeah, you're the star, and you're gonna do an interview on the radio show. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. It's not a main focus. It is a minor focus, but Todd's dad puts way too much pressure on him
So much
to
pressure.
be like the world's best athlete, and then Todd just delivers.
Yeah, he actually is like a prodigy. It's
But he's a little bit sad about it because he's complex.
he just wants to be a normal kid with Alex. So then Alex is bowling. It's just him and his dad, and he's like commentating like he's professional. And Dad's like, maybe you'll go pro one day. But Alex is like, no, going pro because that would be like
That
caring too much, and too many people are bowling around him, and he just wants to be the only one up.
he wants to be cool, but he also doesn't want to be. He doesn't.
Well,
No,
I think what they're trying to get at here is that he only does it for
he
fun.
does it for the love of the game.
Yeah, not to like make money.
Yeah,
Yeah, professional. Oh my God, Brink did the same
Yep.
thing.
Again, the general overarching like morals of the story is it's okay to care about like the sports and like have fun competing. There's added levels to that, which is a good lesson to learn that I feel like actually a lot of films don't talk about is the positive aspects of competition.
Yeah, it's the okay to give a shit.
And then it's
movie.
also like it's okay to have fun while playing, which is also a decent lesson to learn, especially for these kids who are doing sports.
It's the same lesson as Brink.
It
Like,
is.
it truly
Again,
is.
this Brink was the OG
Alley-Cat
Strike,
yeah.
but Alley-Cat Strike really is one of a kind.
There was a lot of gay tension in Brink too.
There was.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, maybe these are just the same movie.
Dare you?
Okay. So yeah, Alex got the love of bowling from his dad, but sometimes love and money just don't mix. No one wants to bowl anymore. What the heck? So now we're in the school hallway. A girl invites Todd to a party. I learned later that this is Lauren. I'm like, that's not going to be a character, and then she is a character. So it's Lauren. She invites Todd to a party. Todd asks the principal, like, what happens with the tie? Nobody's ever tied before. And East Appleton called, and we have to bowl. They like dug in their files and like deep, and they had to dust it off, and they're like, all right, this is
Again, everything is taken very seriously.
Yeah. So bowling is the only tiebreaker that they both have.
Yeah. What they say is there's a list of like backup sports that will be the tiebreaker as long as both teams have a club, and the only one that both teams have a registered club for is bowling.
And you can only use the kids that were on the
sign-up sheet who are members of the club
for the whole year. Like at the start of the year, whoever signed up, that's who you can use. The mayor's also there, and he's pissed off. He's like, "We can't lose because of bowling." And so he's like, "Okay, so we have to do bowling. Let's just stack the team." That's where we learn, like, no, it has to be who's on the list. Because they would have just put whatever kids are best at bowling, which probably would be the kids that are already in bowling. Kids, yeah. Like, I don't know why you would want anyone else.
Here's the thing. Everyone, in addition to everyone caring about bowling, like, caring about the Mighty Apple more than anything else, they also don't. No one in this movie believes that bowling is a sport.
It's
really wild because, like, again, there's much more questionable sports than bowling that exist.
I love how they were like, these loser kids who are obsessed with this thing couldn't possibly be any good at this thing. We need different kids who aren't losers.
We can teach
good
them.
at the loser sport.
Yeah.
We have the technology.
kids. Not the kids who spend every fucking day at the bowling alley. They couldn't be good at bowl.
Who go there before school? Question.
Yeah, sometimes.
Maybe, yeah. Can they go and eat at the diner?
Yeah.
And they go to the bowling alley. Yeah. I don't know. So yeah. Good news is that they won the coin toss. West Upton won the coin toss. So they have home field advantage, so they get to host it at their bowling alley.
Which is pretty fun because their bowling alley
Sucks.
sucks. The East Appleton one is much better maintained and
Yeah.
like maybe you're losing business not because people here don't like bowling, but because everyone just goes to the better bowling alley that's like 5 minutes away.
They can bike to. Like they bike there.
Yeah.
It's not that far. Whatever.
Maybe there's too many bowling alleys in this radius.
Yeah. The scene ends with the mayor saying that only losers are in the bowling club. God damn, these are your citizens. These are children.
Your son is in the bowling club, you just don't know it yet.
God damn. So then the principal goes into the classroom where all 4 of our pinhead. I can't believe we're calling this pinhead.
It worked too.
Strange kids.
Maybe we should call them strange
Strange
dudes. Yeah. So all 4 kids are there with another teacher lady who's like digging through the files. She's looking for the original sign up sheet for bowling club. I guess she might be like the teacher supervisor of this club or like an activities director for the school. But they're digging. So I don't know. Maybe it's not the fall because she's like, oh, if it's from the beginning of the year, maybe this spring or something. I don't know.
Weird spring basketball.
Yeah.
Maybe other places do it differently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This
I don't
isn't
know.
a mystery land.
Well, like they've already done baseball, I think, too, and that's a spring sport.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the hell's going. Track is also spring. And they did track.
What is
I don't know. So yeah. And Alex says, "Why does it matter who signed up for bowling club? We're the only ones who show up."
Mm.
And he's like, "You just don't think we can beat East Appleton? Is that what's going on?"
This is where the kids are gonna simultaneously be upset that the school doesn't believe in them and also be like, but we don't care about it.
Exactly.
They will never drop this team.
Exactly.
They contain multitudes, these kids.
And the multitudes is spite and spite.
So they finally find the sign-up sheet, and the principal is ecstatic because Todd is on the list. And all the kids laugh. They're like, "You're kidding me." And then he's like, "Golden Boys in the bowling club?" Cut to Todd. "I'm in the bowling club?"
He does go hurrah, hurrah, and yay when he sees Todd's name on the
Hurrah, hurrah, yay.
So many times he goes hurrah, hurrah, and yay.
So funny. Yeah, so Todd finds out he's in the bowling club, and his friends, Flip and Leo, are just like cackling behind him. Because they signed him up. They as a prank at the beginning of the year, they like put his name on the bowling list.
Which is hilarious because like, what's payoff?
Damn.
Would have been nothing. Nobody even knew he was on there.
True. Yeah. He would have gone the whole year just not knowing his name was on the list. But like just on the chance that the names are listed for who's in bowling club or like posted somewhere, it's like so funny that his name's on the bowling list.
Book or something.
Yeah, it probably would be in yearbook, right? It's funny. Yeah. Principal's still psyched though. So then at the bowling alley, Alex and his dad are bowling, and dad says, "Hey, this is good news." But Alex is like, "No, it's not." It's like bowling because it's not popular. But if it's good for the alley, then I guess it's fine. Like this is Alex just flip flopping all the time. So then Lou's on the radio and he's interviewing Todd, and they mention the bowling. Todd says, "Here's our list of sports. I led the school to victory in basketball, baseball, tennis, football, and track. I don't see why bowling would be any different."
He's
Todd-
sleep.
Todd hard carries.
I hate he plays all the sports. Like he's the one that shocks me the most is tennis.
Tennis is an odd one in that list.
That like
The rest of them are all the rest are all team sports. I guess tennis can be, but like I feel like tennis is usually considered more individual, trying to figure out the best individual of the
I just feel
set.
like out of these sports, that's the like most specialized one. Where I'm surprised he's also good at that because I feel like basketball, baseball, football, and track.
Track
like,
is just like you're fast.
yeah,
Wrestling isn't in there.
yeah.
That's more
He
normal
would
than
probably be on the
tennis.
wrestling team too.
Yeah, maybe they don't have a wrestling team, but they have a bowling team.
Maybe.
Todd is gonna gift
Was
kid
wrestling you have to
burnout
cut
so hard
you
in
have to cut
college.
and add weight so much?
Mm.
Wait, what sport is he gonna go into in college? do you think? I guess he has
Bowling.
he has his whole high school career ahead of him. So.
Yeah. No, realistically, considering we just always see him do really well, the one that's probably easiest to get a scholarship for is football, for how many positions there are.
Mm.
And he's probably good enough to get one of those. So
What
I
do
would guess football, even though we don't see him play
What
it.
do you think he plays?
Linebacker.
Oh yeah,
I
He's
love
kinda
that
short.
you're taking this so seriously because my gut was like, he drops out of college to be with Alex. Move to Canada,
So the-
start a farm or something. I don't know.
No, they stay in Appleton and they take over the bowling alley.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, Lou says, spoken like a true competitor. But can you even bowl? And Todd's like, fuck yeah, I can.
Can you even bowl, bro?
So cut to the bowling alley. Alex gets a strike. And Todd's like, ugh, another one? You've got to be kidding me. Like, he's mad Alex keeps bowling strikes. And okay, the mayor's also there, and Alex's dad and the mayor have like a really weird vibe.
They're also gay, for the record.
For risk of spoiling it, if you clicked on this podcast, you're getting the movie detailed scene by scene. So I'm just saying it earlier than it comes up here. They have a bad history of they were on the baseball team together
For the
back in
Apple.
their middle school Apple Cup fight chance, and the baseball team lost because while the team had a lead, they fucked up a double play on the transfer, being shortstop, second baseman, and they argue over if it was a bad throw or if he just misses a catch. And it probably is both of their faults because that's how those typically work in baseball.
Yeah. So they have beef that goes back to middle school. They used to be best friends.
They used to be best friends.
But unfortunately, middle school is like the peak of every Appletonian's life, and it's all downhill.
And
after
now they're gonna
that,
be
so
in-laws.
the pressure's on.
It's like over on the side, like nobody gives a fuck about
We're
high
on the hill already. It's
Maybe-
like you hit
you
15
know what?
and it's just all downhill.
Maybe they already have a combined high school.
Oh, so it's like in middle school you do the Mighty Apple thing, and then in high school you're just all in the same.
High
fucking
school, you have to like get along.
They treat you to go after each other's blood, and then they're like, "Now go to the same school and get along." Yeah.
That's what it was like in my middle school with I don't know if you guys had cores. We like at least in sixth grade, it was like our cores were like they split the whole class up into 3 different groups.
Oh yeah, we had that too.
So like you only see and have class with people in your core. I was in core 61. And then there's core 62 and core 63.
Ah, yours had normal names. Ours were alpha, beta, and gamma.
Imagine being in the beta one.
Right? It was so weird.
That's so sad.
We're all trying to figure out if they were like by academic ability or what. Which,
Yeah.
knowing my hometown, they probably were.
Yeah,
But
mine were definitely random. Because I was just, unless one was the best, because I was in core 61.
of course,
Anyway, yeah. So Todd gets up to bowl, and he sucks. He only hits. He only
Knocks down like 4 pins.
hits a few pins. Which honestly, he didn't gutter though.
honestly, I'm a worse bowler than Todd is at
Yeah,
this point.
I thought he was just gonna gutter,
Yeah.
but
We like never see a gutter ball in this
No.
film, which is wild. Yes, but that's not a gutter.
hits on the other lane.
Like it was honestly an impressive trick shot to bowl in one lane and get a strike in another.
Have y'all ever accidentally bowled into another lane? Because I have.
It's happened before.
No.
Wow, way to brag, Finn.
Stuck in the middle of the gutter though, and it doesn't go all the way down.
He sent another ball.
More embarrassing because then they have to send somebody from the bowling alley to go get it.
That's so bad. Because I like hit my leg and it just went flying into the other lane. That was pretty embarrassing. But I did
Bowling
go
is fun.
again.
We should go bowling.
Bowling is fun.
This movie's accomplishing what it set out. It's from the bowling elite. They're trying to get you to.
Yeah, this
bowl
is
games.
PBA sponsored. Who do you think you are? I am.
So yeah, Todd hits a couple pins, and the principal goes, "Way to go, Todd! You got this."
It's very funny because like they're all celebrating his 3-pin success.
Yeah, like
And even Todd would tell you like, no.
Well, I'm not good yet, but I will be.
Yeah.
he's a natural. He hit 3 pins. The kids
It's also like no one else has ever picked up a bowling ball in their life, so they're all like, "You got pins over?" It's pretty.
Forwards, not backwards, like in Weeble.
and they all kind of
Whoa!
Ugh. The kids are laughing at Todd, and he's like, "Do you guys get strikes all the time?" And they're like, "No, nobody's that good." He's like, "I didn't think so." But yeah, they're like, "It's really hard to get a perfect game," and he's like, "Just watch. I'm gonna bowl a 100," and they're like, "You fucking idiot." 100 is not the max score. It's 300 because
Dummy.
blah, blah, blah. Ben, do you want to explain it?
I'm not going to go through every bowling scoring rules because this is stupidly.
Well, just like
Right.
spares and strikes.
Yeah. 300 is the max score in bowling. That's what a perfect score is, not 100. Just for context for the sport, you can skip through this if you don't care about it. You play 10 frames, which is essentially 2 rolls of the bowling ball, or if you get a strike, which is knocking over every pin, then that was your frame. So if you get a strike every single time, you'll end up getting 300 points. The way the points work is you get the number of pins you knock down. However, if you got a strike, you get that number plus the amount of pins you knock over in your next 2 balls. If you get a spare, which is knocking over all the pins in 2 balls, you get all of the pins that you knocked over, 10, plus whatever you get in the next ball. So what you did previously, like having a streak of strikes, is better than having spread out strikes. It's basically kind of the way the scoring works. And all of that works out to mathematically a 300 perfect score.
Mm-hmm.
There's some like caveats with the last frame being 10 bolt, like an extra. You get an extra swing of the ball if you got a strike or a spare, like finish stuff out. That stuff isn't really that important to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, it's just bowling is a weirdly scored thing, but you want streaks of strikes more than them spread out.
Yeah. Cool. We get a short scene next where they just go to the diner, the pinheads, and they complain about Todd, but the waitress is like, "Oh, you guys are gonna get the mighty apples."
We want the mighty apple.
And they're like, "Thought Golden Boy was the only one that mattered," and the waitress is like, "You can learn something from everyone."
Moral of the story.
And meanwhile, while they're at the diner, Todd is at this pizza place that's called Tony's Lasagna Heaven. And on the window,
It's
it's
a guy, a chef holding a pizza.
this is Tony's Lasagna Heaven. It's not pizza. The Lasagna Heaven, famous for the pizza. Let me tell you.
To be fair, there are restaurants like this, but this is fictional. You can easily switch it.
Not that. Yeah.
Literally, Pizza Ranch. I don't know if Pizza Ranch is around the United States, but it is for sure in Minnesota. It's Pizza Ranch, and then it says "Try our chicken" right below it. Like
It's the same thing.
it's the same thing.
But it's way funnier to do this in a fictionalized setting where there's no existing Tony's Lasagna Heaven out there. But it's also very funny to call it Lasagna Heaven. Like, oh, you're going to be in heaven if you have our lasagna. But have our pizza.
So yeah.
Every time they talk about this place, which is shockingly often, it's
They-
pretty funny. It
they
makes me
just
laugh.
they just call it Tony's. I think like for sure.
At one point, they do say it in name in like
Tony's
speech.
Lasagna.
No, Tony's Lasagna Heaven.
Yeah. So Todd is there with his friends, and they make fun of Alex's clothes, and Todd's like, "Leave him alone.
Because they're in love.
quitting." Like, you should quit. And he's like, "I'm not quitting. We need to win this." And like, bowling's so lame. And Todd says, "Don't worry, I'm gonna win the apple."
Yeah.
So then Alex and Elisa walk home. They're like neighbors. They live across from each other.
This is the obligated gay romance potential straight ship.
But they never
But they
They
never
have
actually,
romance, no.
There's never any romantic tension
Yeah.
between them.
They dip like a pinky toe into it. It kind of feels like just to say that they did.
Yeah,
Like
again,
they were getting on him at Disney too much. Like, this is too gay. And they were like, okay, we'll have Alex look at Elisa
Elisa.
a little bit too long there. Is that good? And they were
Honestly,
like, this is fine now.
I never got any vibes of romantic tension.
They're
between
just
those two
friends, you
ever.
know?
Like I got really
They're
strong.
buds.
I got really strong platonic vibes, but for Alex and Todd, I always got romantic
yeah.
tension there.
Oh,
Like,
again,
it's
it's something
crazy.
where I do really want to know if someone in the cast, like crew, saw this and was going for this and just didn't tell anyone.
Yeah, because it was the year 2000. Yes.
I would love to meet the main character. I have like this like back burner dream of just meeting all these stars that were once in a DCOM and having them sign like the poster for the DCOM instead of like whatever project they're working on. And if I could meet this guy who plays Alex, and like he's also in Cheetah Girls, which is fun, but I would be like, were you trying to be gay? Please, I really
Just want to know.
And he probably just doesn't care about this movie at
Like,
all anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, I genuinely don't remember. being
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
The bowling movie? Yeah. I'm like,
I'd be like, no.
My Alex and Todd playlist.
I wrote fanfic. Yeah. But I think the funniest one is the Let It Shine guy because he's like, he was on Everybody Hates Chris and he's on Abbott Elementary right now. It'd be like, can you send my Let It Shine books?
Crap.
Can you do the rep? Roxy, I'm sorry. can you just say Roxy, I'm sorry to the camera real quick? Thank you. Anyway, back to Alec and Strike. Yeah, Alex and Elisa walk home. They're like, maybe people will care about bowling now. And Elisa says, I hope so. Sometimes I think your dad only keeps it open for us. And Alex is like, yeah, he loves bowling, but you know, he has me and my mom to think about. He says he'll sell the alley unless it like starts turning a profit.
Just to mention this because it is explicitly mentioned, but like very lightly. Yeah, the mom's in the picture for Alex and his dad. It's just she's not a character because the entire film span, she's like watching after their grandpa in the hospital
Yeah.
until the final match where he comes and like hits a bowling ball with his crutch.
Funny. I know, it's like it's crazy that in the last few scenes they act like the mom was a character the whole time,
And
but
she very much
wasn't.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice that they have a nice like family relationship. That's not
It's
plot
not
point
a
at all.
broken home.
Yeah. I don't remember who says this. I think it's Alex. He says, "Mighty apple, schmighty apple."
Yeah, that's Alex. That's Alex.
Mighty apple, schmighty apple. Let's just have fun. We'll always have each other. That's cute. Schmighty apple. So then Todd gets home and his dad asks how the bowling team is. He's like, yeah, it's fine. And this is where we learn that the schools are merging, so we need the apple to keep it forever. They keep saying like we're gonna keep it forever. Like I guess just it
It's in
ended
their
with them.
name.
Yeah, it's in their name. Like maybe they'll have a case in the new school that says like final competition went to West Appleton or East Appleton or something. I don't know. And then, so like Todd goes up to his room and his dad calls up the other mayor, right? They have so much beef. And he's like, let's make this a little more interesting. If we win, you have to get us a bunch of apple pie. And if you win, you can have our apple cider. Or one
Yeah,
cup
one
of
of the
pie.
Appletons has world famous apple cider. The other has world famous best in the world apple
Pie.
pies.
Just love that it's called Appleton and they
They
just happen to have famous apple stuff.
I love
It's in
it.
Appleton, Wisconsin, and it's not famous for
There's an Apple
anything.
Valley.
Yeah, there's an Apple Valley in Minnesota. I don't
Does
think
it have
they.
famous apples?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Minnesota itself is a very famous apple
That's
state.
true.
Mm.
We have Honeycrisp.
The University of Minnesota is like one of the most famous apple growers.
Hell yeah.
Harry Houdini used to live in Appleton, Wisconsin, and that's like all it has going for it.
Hell yeah.
Maybe that should have been the capital of Halloween rather than Anoka, Minnesota.
We also just get a quick scene of the East Appleton bowling team, and they're really good. So now at Tony's Lasagna Heaven, Lauren's talking with Todd. She's like, "How's bowling? You know, maybe you and Alex can win it."
Yeah, because like the rumors got around that Alex is actually pretty fucking good at bowling.
Yeah, and Todd says, "My team doesn't care about winning. It's because they've never been winners." Fucking losers.
Zing!
Yeah, I wrote that. They didn't say zing. Okay, so at the bowling alley, the kids are bowling crazy. Todd is like off down on its own lane.
Yeah, he's not working with them.
Yeah, it's separate.
They all hate each other at this point.
And this is when he skips the ball over to the wrong lane. Elisa goes over to him and she tries to encourage him and give him some advice like, hey, you know, your footwork, maybe, or maybe they say that
The
later.
ball's gonna follow where your thumb goes.
Yeah.
And Todd's like, No, I'm not coachable, which is very funny to me for this elite athlete in multiple different sports. That doesn't happen without someone who's willing to be coached.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
I'm only willing to be coached by people who aren't my own age and also losers.
Todd's like, whatever. Elise is pissed and leaves the bowling alley with Delia. And Alex says, she was trying to teach you, you know. And Todd just has an attitude about it. And Alex is like, you're good and all, but not at bowling. And Todd says, not yet. You know, Todd says, I hear you're just a strange kid who loves bowling, hates all of their sports, and dresses like he found his clothes in the back of a bowling alley. And Alex is like, yeah, I heard that too. And you know what? I love bowling. I don't like many other sports, but I found my clothes in a catalog at the back of the bowling alley, and then I ordered them.
He said it like such a clapback, and it's not.
This also means that he is
Quirky.
actively choosing to buy clothes with other people's names on it.
The implications, like
The way he says it though is like so flirty, where he's like,
Yes.
"Yeah, that's true, but I got it from a catalog."
Do you want to see my catalog, Todd?
Todd like scoffs, and it's also very funny. Oh, whatever. And then this is the end of the scene, and it ends with Alex like flexing his arms behind his head, like like he's so flirty right now. It's crazy.
Year 2000. This is insane.
Oh, okay. Outside, Todd's like, "What's with this music? Haven't you heard of Backstreet Boys, Savage Garden, and Aerosmith?"
We gotta pause for a second to talk about how insane is
He
this.
starts with Backstreet Boys and goes into Savage Garden.
Like, that's such a whiplash of fans. Like, yes, they're more popular than swing music, but like another 2000s, early 2000s DCOM was motocross that we've covered, and they have a whole scene in there talking about how, like, oh, it's so girly to, like,
In
sing.
sync, yeah.
So first off, Disney's clearly Team Backstreet Boy. Second of all, yeah, you're just going from, like, boy band pop into, like, heavy rock.
Yeah. It's like is Savage Garden kind of grunt?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Crazy.
it's a wild switch. I'm very curious on Todd's music taste, because it is odd.
Yeah. And he's like, "Why are we having practice here?" And Delia shows some like computer bowling game, and they're like, "This has perks too, other than just regular bowling."
This never comes back
Never
up.
follow up on this.
It's
Yeah.
so weird. They're like,
it's
"Yeah,
just
we're
like-
playing a game."
It's just like bad flash bowling.
It's the graphics are awful.
They're really good for 2000, the year 2000.
This was the peak of technology in the year 2000.
Brutal, rough polygons. Yeah.
They're saying it has
Vaguely
perks.
brain-shaped, yeah.
Yeah, they're saying the computer game has perks because it helps you with like math and shit. I don't know. It works for Delia.
Who doesn't really like bowling?
I know.
Just likes math.
She's the scorekeeper for the team.
Yeah. Todd says, "We have less than 4 weeks. We need to prepare." It's crazy that this movie takes place over the course of like a month, actually, because it feels like it could have been a week,
Yeah.
but the time passes. Which makes sense for like how good Todd gets. Like he's been practicing every day
Yeah.
for a month. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually there's several points in this plot that most DCOMs would just wave away and have this be like a week-long movie.
Mhm.
But no, they like explain some of the stuff, which makes some of the stuff that they don't explain way stand out more.
Yeah. So they have less than 4 weeks to prepare. Todd says, "With less than 4 weeks, we need to prepare." I mean, you guys need to prepare, not me, obviously.
Which is very funny.
Todd says, "Your attitude needs work. It matters. Like you have to want to win.
If you
right?
don't want it, you're not going to be at your best, which is true.
Yeah.
And they're like, not just bowling well matters."
They're quiet quitting.
Yeah. Meanwhile, East Appleton hires a coach. What the
Whoa.
fuck? So loud.
I mean, we kind of glossed over it briefly. I'm pretty confident East Appleton like is cheating at multiple different stages through this process.
They're so slimy.
And like I appreciate that. They're going hard for this apple. I would vote for this man.
I'm voting based on whoever can do whatever it takes to give me that fucking apple.
I admire cheating in my politicians.
Like, if they're gonna be cheating, at least cheat for me.
Cheat for this middle school sports competition, please.
Matching tracksuits make you better at bowling. Fact.
So
Yeah.
So then Alex catches Todd after school. He offers to help Todd get better, and he says, I want to win so that other people like bowling, which is just totally imposed what he said earlier. He's like, I like it because other people don't like it. He's like, I want to save my bowling alley. Todd's like, okay, well, I'll take you to a party if you teach me how to bowl. And he just wants to go out with Alex. Like, this is why he's saying it. But Alex like, you don't have to offer anything. We're teammates. You can just ask me. And Todd's like, forget it. I thought you might have fun. I thought you wanted to go on a date with me. I just wanted to go out with me. It's fine. Don't go out with me. I don't even care. And then Lauren comes over and she mentions the party. She's like, Todd, are you going? He's like, yeah. And she's like, Alex, do you want to go? And he's like, I'd love to.
Yeah, he's very like smirkingly. He's like,
mhm.
I'm gonna be there, even though y'all don't want me to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. See you guys there. And Alex at no point offers to invite his other friends. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go because it's a date with my boyfriend. And then Alex gives Todd a bowling shirt.
It says Dirk on it, and he's like, what does it say, dork? At least that's what Todd reads into it. It's like, I'm not wearing this. It's fucking stupid.
It's weird. Let's just bowl, all right?
Maybe make out a little.
Yeah, he's like, he definitely says that. He says, no, let's like you dress weird. No, you dress weird. Whatever. Let's just bowl. And Alex says, tomorrow. There's a party tonight. It's like, there's a
date tonight.
we have a date tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna bowl tonight. So then at the party, Todd and Alex show up together, obviously. And Lauren tells Todd that Alex doesn't really fit the part. And Todd says that hanging out with us is gonna do him some good. So then later at the party, Alex is kind of awkwardly standing by himself. And Todd takes Lauren over to him, and they're like, "You having fun?" And he's like, "Sure." And then a kid starts to threaten Alex to win the bowling game. And his name's Bubba, and Bubba's just weird, weird kid.
Bubba is just an odd character. He's gonna be like, bowling dude.
Bowling dude. And Lauren says, "Winning will make you a hero." And Alex is like, "Oh, Todd would know. He already is a hero."
Hard eyes.
Hard eyes.
Hard eyes.
Todd like blushes and looks down.
Yeah.
Oh my god. There's some
Natural chemistry.
Yeah.
Like it's so hard for me to believe that they weren't going for a gay thing in this movie because it's so heavily implied.
And again, it's wild because this is not something that's like widely publicized to be a thing or anything. I mean, part of it's probably it's just not that popular of a movie, but also people know this one exists compared to other DCOMs.
And look at each other. Have you seen them look at each other?
Yeah. Jeez. And then Lauren asks Alex to dance, but he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna head out." Good night, bowling dude. Says Bubba.
And he specifically says, "I don't know how to dance to this music."
I'm not a dancer. I only know swing dancing.
I only know swing.
I only know swing dancing, which is such a specific type of dancing. How did you learn how to do that and no other kind of dancing?
Crazy. So then Alex walks home, and before he heads in his house, he like heads across the street to go see Elisa. And Elisa comes out coincidentally at the same time, and he admits that he was at the party, and Elisa laughs. She's like, "You and Golden Boy? Boy, you guys are dating or something?" I wish she said.
Might as well.
Yeah. She says, "I'm not gonna lose you to that whole crowd, am I?" And he says, "Nah, it's just one party." And then Lisa shows that she bowled 220.
Yeah, check out my scorecard.
Yeah. And she's like, "Yeah, I was gonna go post it on your door." And he said, "I'm sorry I missed it, but I'll be around when you bowl 300." And she's like, "Yeah, you better." So I'm getting platonic vibes personally, but whatever. Now at bowling practice, they all bowl one after another. Like bowl, 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 bowl. It's crazy how coordinated they are sometimes. And this is where Todd's like, "Oh, my footwork doesn't matter, like where my feet are when I just throw the ball down the lane." And Alex's dad comes over to Todd and is like, "Hey, it does matter. Like you're gonna hurt your back if you don't do it properly." But keep at it. You're a natural. And Alex is like, what the heck,
Alex
Dad?
is so insulted that the dad said anything positive.
Yeah. So what the heck, Dad? Way to boost his ego. I thought you were on my side.
Even though he just offered to help Todd yesterday.
Yeah. What the hell's going on? Like, Alex is so
This does feel like it's a
wishy-washy.
scene out of order.
Yeah,
It does.
it does. Yeah, they should have had that before the party, probably. But Dad's like, I am on your side. What? Todd's on our team. We're all trying to get the apple. And then the mayor rolls in and shit talks Alex's dad like he always does. And then we get the rules for the competition with the E's. It's a 4-on-4 match, 1 game per person, but it's the highest total score for all the players is how it's gonna work. So it's like 1-on-1, but it's not. But it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. They also get 1 person on the bench that they can sub anytime. So it's a 4-person match, but you can have 1 sub. But once they're in for the rest of the game, which doesn't matter when it happens because it's the last frame, but it's that they're subbed for good. And Delia's like, oh, cool, sick. I don't have to bowl.
She hates bowling.
Ri'chard hates bowling, yeah.
She's like, sick. And Elise is like, no, we like the day before the match, we should all bowl. And the top 4 scores will be who competes. And Todd's like, she doesn't want to bowl, just let her sit out. And Delia's like, for once, I agree with Todd. And they like high five.
They have a cute relationship through this movie.
Something I noticed on this watch through is like how cute Delia and Todd are, like platonically as friends. Like they just understand each other on this weird level. When it starts here, when they like high five each other.
Honestly, in a way, I feel like it starts with her talking about the math and the basketball thing. I just feel like Todd's like, I just understand what you're doing,
Yeah,
and like that's fine.
he like respects her, and I think she respects him in like some weird underlying way. But yeah. The mayor also mentions a wager that they made so they just keep on adding
Like
shit on top.
every day that this competition is like getting closer, one of the mayors will call the other and be like, I want to add something to our bet.
Yeah, so the loser has to like throw a parade for the winner.
Yeah, this thing that's already like the biggest deal in the town. They're
Yeah.
like, it's not big enough. Like we got to add stuff.
Most towns are just so confident they're gonna win it.
It's crazy. And bowling. Like, insane. Alex's dad is like, do we really need the extra pressure? And the mayor's like, we have Todd. We're so gonna win. So then outside, Todd is he wants to go like scope out the East team. And the other kids are like, what's the point? Like, there's no need to psych ourselves out. What if they're really good? And Todd's like, what if they stink though? Then we'll feel really good about ourselves. And Alex is like, they're the ones that suggested bowling. They don't stink. Like, obviously not. Todd's like, whatever. Join me if you want to be smart. And then Todd goes off, and Alex is like, he leaves his friends up.
The other pinheads are just like, what?
Why is Alex going with him? It's because they're in love.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm just gonna mention this randomly here. Y'all remember Ken? He's done nothing for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, Ken doesn't do a whole lot. He's like a whole backstory later.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's been there the entire time.
Yeah,
He
Delia
shows
gets
up to
more.
say a couple of very memorable lines eventually.
So then Todd and Alex bike to East Appleton. And their bowling alley is just so much nicer. And Alex is like, whatever, we have character. And then the East team is in their full green tracksuits.
And then watch him get 4 straight strikes,
Yeah.
each of them.
Yeah, they're really good. And Todd is like floored. He's like, oh my gosh, there's the guy from
Those were the twins that fucked us up in swimming or whatever. Like all the sports that they did
Yeah, he's
win.
like, oh, that kid's really good at football, and that kid's really good at basketball. Fuck, like that.
We're transferring the coin.
It's crazy.
And this movie's MO is, yes, it is.
Like you would think that since they are so good at bowling, they would have specialized bowlers and they've been preparing for this moment or something. But like, no, it's like, oh my
No,
god,
again,
this star, I can't
my
believe it.
my assumption is just the principal signed up every kid at the beginning of the year to the bowling club.
Just in case.
All the athletic
Just in
just in
case.
case.
But the tiebreaker was a secret.
I think they had spies on this.
They called up East Appleton to get to know it, so I think they had the information. And like probably what happened is West Appleton had no fucking idea.
West Appleton, step it up.
Yeah,
And also, it's never happened before.
West Appleton did not win the espionage sport. If they won that, we wouldn't even be here right now. The espionage club is way worse. Also, much more legitimate sport than bull.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so then they see the coach that was hired, remember? He's like a famous bowler. He's a champion
Yeah,
bowler.
he keeps Todd was naming all these names of the kids that are playing.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, oh
Yeah,
my god. And
that
then
guy's really
Alex is
good.
like, hey, that's Whipsaw McGraw. This is a goat.
He's really good. And we learned that he's the mayor's cousin. So that's where that
Crazy.
connection came from. Todd says, we don't stand a chance. And Alex says, don't give up. They won't get strikes every time. Just watch. And then they get more strikes. And Todd's like, I've seen enough. And then he leaves. And then the East Boys see Alex. And they're like, you're spying? Yeah, they're like, you're spying on us? But they didn't see Todd. They just see Alex like, you're spying. What the heck?
Because they're bad at espionage. They lost at that espionage.
And Todd comes back in to save the day, right? He's like,
Todd's
You are
very smart with all of this.
yeah, like, there you were, loser. I told you not to come here. And Alex is like, I came with you.
Alex does
What?
not pick up what's going on.
And 'cause I don't get it either. I'm like, what is this angle here? And
If Todd had been a part of the espionage club, they would have won.
yeah,
I mean, he's the GOAT for a reason. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Wayne Gretzky, all in one.
all in one. And so East is like, he's with you, and Todd's like, I'll never be seen with this loser. Don't worry, I'll take care of him outside. Come here. And he like drags him out. And then once they're outside, he pushes him against the wall.
This is the point where it's inarguable.
Inarguable. Like, nobody's looking at them right now, and
He
Todd
grabs
pushes
him
him.
by the shirt, two-handed, pushes him on the wall.
Faces are like 2 inches from each other. This is the cover of my romance playlist for them.
And he's like, haha, just play it.
You should have seen your face
Yeah.
when I almost kissed you against the wall.
And Alex was like, I knew what was going on.
Jake exploded when the thing happened first.
Crazy. Alex is like, meet me at the bowling alley tomorrow. I'll teach you to bowl with style, and then you won't be scared of them. It was flirty.
Yeah, he says it in that exact voice.
Yeah. Oh my god. Hold on.
Like,
So
don't
the-
be scared of them.
You won't be scared of them anymore. So then the next day, Todd was up at the bowling alley in the morning. It's early in the morning, and all the kids are there. Today is dancing day.
Again, when you think this movie's gonna like ground itself a little bit every once in a while, it's like, no, we're gonna be a little silly.
It's montage time.
We're just silly goofy. Alex has Todd join them over in their lanes. He's like, come bowl over with us today. And then they play right down the middle. Boop, boop, boop.
They played this
Right down
a
the
few
middle.
times this
Yeah.
first time in here. It's kind of like the DCOM song in this one. I have no idea if this was made for the movie or if this already existed.
Yeah, they say Alley
is
Cat
very
Strike.
catchy.
They say Alley Cat Strike in the song.
Yes.
Alley Cat Strike
Yeah.
right down the middle. Bam, bam. It's cute. And they just have a montage of like silly bowling.
There's times where they bowl through their legs. Where one point, like, Ed just bowls through Alex's legs, and it was clear that wasn't intentionally played because Alex like is about to close his legs and get hit.
Yeah, they like dancing.
Do you do some pretty like detailed swing dancing that it's like you must have practiced this in
Well,
advance?
no. Todd is a part of the swing dancing team, so we love them to victory.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up because it's one of the things I noticed this time was like how cute their relationship is. They just like kill it at swing dancing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
They're doing it to make Alex jealous.
And they end by sliding down the lanes themselves. Like they keep sending Todd. They
Yes.
send Todd for a while, like as the bowling ball, but then they all do it back to back, and it's really cute. So
a lot of
then, after they're done having fun, Todd says like, "Wow, you guys have something here. Like you got to make bowling fun. That like this was fun. You got to market it, and then people will come." And Alex is like, "There's nothing to sell." Fucking Alex.
Fucking Alex.
Like, and that's why I love it. And Alex or Todd is like, "Yeah, there is. Do food, lights, dancing. Every week you can have a party. It'll work. It'll like maybe it'll save the alley." And what would we call it? And it zooms in on Delia, and she's like, "The bowling ball."
And everyone goes, "Oh my god!"
It's not as clever as you think, but yeah,
It was
nice.
just like that moment where BenG came up with the pinheads.
And they all go like, "Wow!" And then Alex and Todd do a little handshake themselves to celebrate.
They have a
Secret handshake.
Yeah, celebrate Delia's cool idea. They high five each other.
They do because they can't kiss on camera.
They can't kiss in front of the other kids.
At least not until the third act.
Yeah, at least not.
Yeah. So then Alex and Todd go out and they run into some guy. I don't know who this man is. And the old man's like, "You ready?" And Todd's like, "Yeah, we're ready."
'Cause everyone in the town cares and knows about the middle school sports.
It's some random. It's like so random. I'm like, maybe that's the principal, but it's not. Yeah, it's some random fucking guy. And then Todd tells Alex, like, to be a leader, you gotta have some confidence. And Alex is like, "Yeah, okay." Then they go into a shop and it's like a party supply store.
Yeah, and Todd's like, "Hey, I don't have any cash, but I'm really hoping I'm gonna lead West Appleton to victory in bowling."
Yeah. And the lady's like, "Of course, anything you want, Todd. Like, take all this for free."
That's how business works.
I just love that he's mooching off of all these businesses as the mayor's son, and everyone lets him get away with it because he's good at middle school sports.
Thing in this town.
Yeah. Again, I love how they never drop that
They're
is
so committed to that
they're
bit.
so committed. I love it.
It's so good.
And like this is the type of thing that I would think was cool if I was in a small town like this. But like, I'm not the only person that exists. I know that.
So then at the bowling alley, Alex and Todd show up with all the like party supplies, and it was all donated. And they said Lou will promote it and they'll decorate it all up. And Alex is worried that it won't be real bowling anymore. And he's talking with his dad about it. And his dad's like, "This place needs to change." Um, yeah, he's like, "Today I started like listing the place to sell. Like, I don't want to do that. Maybe this will help." And Alex says, "But it won't be our special place anymore."
That's like, it won't be a place anymore.
Won't be a place, period, and we don't do something about this. But Dad says, "Yeah, it will be our special place. We just gotta take care of the business side too. And maybe you'll find out different isn't bad, just different." And this is also when he admits that he and the mayor used to be BFFs, and they fought for the apple.
We still don't get to know their exact dynamic at this point.
We didn't learn the baseball story yet. He's just like,
They keep hinting on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as big of a
Like,
deal as
drawn
they're
out
making
thing.
it.
yeah, he's like,
Yeah, even though, like, when they first greet each other, I feel like he calls him, like, Dropsy or something.
And then he says it's a bad throw. Like, you could get all the...
Implied right away. You could have
Yeah.
figured it out.
Yeah, it really isn't need to be this hidden.
yeah. He's like, this whole conversation is just like, me and the mayor used to be friends. We fought for the apple, and we just want to see our kids bring it back. Like, it's just very subtle. Well, subtle. Like, very hinting towards the story, but not telling the whole thing.
And
It's like,
then,
but we also got to save this place.
yeah, then Alex immediately walks outside, sees Todd, and goes, "Do you know how dads used to be best friends?"
Crazy.
It's like a toddler who you just tell a fact
yeah.
to, who's got to share it with everyone.
So offhand because it's so funny. He goes outside and he's like, "What if people don't come?" And it's like, "Yeah, they'll come." You know, our dads used to be friends. Yeah, I just learned like 30 seconds ago that our dads used to be best
Thought you
friends.
should know. Yeah.
And Todd's like, "Get out, you're lying." And he's like, "I'm not." And he's like, "Forget about it. Let's get some flyers printed." It's just like instantly dropped. It's so weird. So then at school they hand out flyers. They're like, "We're bowling next Friday." And
Maybe a party.
they invite Lauren and Alex invites Flip and Leo. So he's like getting a little more rapport with them. And then Bubba hugs them both and they're like, "Come, Bubba, there'll be food."
Yeah,
I like...
fat guy.
Yeah,
The joke is just that he's fat.
stupid. So then at the bowling alley, they're practicing bowling again. Alex and Todd are. And Alex is like, "Hey, Todd, why don't you try the split?" which is like the 7-10 split where the pins are
The
split
far
apart.
back pins on the left and right are the only ones that are left.
Yeah, they rigged the alley to only have those 2 spins specifically to practice this. And Todd thinks it'll be easy. He's like, 2 pins? That's it?
Which is so dumb because, I mean, if he's bold at this point anymore, you would know this is like the most difficult shot you could possibly have in a bowling game.
Yeah. So he tries and he fails and he just tries over and over and over again and he can't get it. And Alex is like, harder than it looks. And Todd says, in a match, I'd make it. I thrive under pressure. And then Alex leaves to fix the reset button because it broke again. So Alex leaves the scene and the other 3 kids come in. And Todd says, nice of you to finally join us. And they're like, hey, how about you spend 4 years in this place and practice a million times and then we'll talk. And Todd's like, Alex is the only one of you with the right attitude. The rest of you don't care at all.
And they're just licking their ice cream cones.
Tone shift because they were kind of in it, like in
The last
previous
we
scenes, but
really saw all of them was the dancing top.
didn't have a bad attitude. They were like, "This is fun."
Yeah,
Now
but
they're
Todd's
showing
like,
up
we gotta be
late.
more serious about it.
They're showing up late to practice with ice cream cones in their hands.
He just wanted ice cream.
Yeah. He's like, you guys didn't give me an ice cream cone? No, but Ken finally gets to talk, and he says, where do you come off telling us how to feel? You think you know everything about us. You think you know everything about everything. And Todd says, I know how to win. And Ken says, well, I know how to bowl. And Todd says it's not enough. And Ken says, my dad wanted me to play sports my whole life, but I like to bowl. I don't care about other sports, but now bowling is everything to this town. And you don't think I care? Again, golden boy. And Todd's like, that's more like it. It's okay to aim high and show it. And Delia says, pass. It was good. And then Alex comes in. He says, fighting like cats and dogs isn't going to make the next 10 days very pleasant, am I right? You're right, says the cool cats. You're right, says the hot dog.
The line of the movie. We said that line so much like that.
But honestly, what the fuck is happening? You're right, says the cool cats. You're right, says the hot dog. And then they bro shake.
The one calls them cool cats occasionally, but
Yeah, Ken does it like one other time in the film.
Yeah.
it came out of nowhere, and it's just so. Somebody wrote that and went, "This sounds so cool. I don't care if it makes sense. I'm putting it in the movie."
Well, because Alex comes in and says fighting like cats
Yeah.
and dogs. So he's like, well, we're the alley cats. And Todd's like, I'm the hot dog.
This is hot shit.
It's so dumb. Yeah, that's the quote we said the most. I forgot about Blessed Quiet.
Yeah.
Now I can
Dragon
bowl.
Ball.
We named our quiz bowl teams after that line one year.
We
Yeah,
did.
the cool cats and the hot
Yeah.
dogs. Yeah, we did do that. That was awesome. All right, so now we're in school. The kids are kind of popular now. The pinheads are popular. And the principal comes over with good news. Todd and Alex are going to be on Lou's show tonight. And he told them that Todd is the captain.
They're all like, what the fuck?
Well, he's not.
Yeah, he's not. Elise is like, that's not fair. We should vote on who our captain is.
Todd, Lou's gonna expect it. And Todd's like, okay, y'all vote on a co-captain.
Yeah, he's like, obviously I should be a captain because everybody thinks I'm so cool.
Yeah.
Just pick a co-captain as if it wouldn't be Alex. He knows it would be. But Elisa says, it's you, Alex. As long as you promise to come to the diner tonight and tell us all about it. And Alex promises.
Oh no. The
And then-
second act of a
Yeah.
DCOM, this is certainly gonna be held.
So they're on the radio show, and with Lou, and he's like, are you guys gonna win? And Alex is like, well, our team's awfully good. And then people come in and they're like, oh my god, we love you guys. You're so cool.
You expect to hear like a lot of the people calling in and hearing good stuff and excited. You hear like 5 words of one call and then they cut out.
Yeah, and then they cut the scene because the scene isn't that important, I guess. But they after the show, the boys are running out and
They're
like,
so happy. They're sliding down the railings.
We did it. And Todd's like, Alex, you want to come hang out with me and the boys and Lauren at Tony's?
Tony's
And-
lasagna heaven.
And Al's like, yeah, I'm there. Oh no.
Dun dun.
So at the diner, Alex isn't there, and the kids leave, and like, guess he got hung up. But then they look over because Tony's lasagna heaven's right next to the diner.
And it's popping off.
It's
Everyone's very
popping,
loud.
and Alex is hanging out with the sports people, and they're all like, they have this big sundae, and they're like eating it, and, like, yeah, and people are cheering for them eating ice cream. It's so stupid. But yeah, the kids are sad.
But honestly, they don't hold it as much against him as
No,
It's
they-
actually much
they
more
would.
realistic.
Yeah,
because they just mentioned it like one time, so off camera they talked about it.
yeah.
And then they
They're like,
bring it
that
up
was a
like one more
dick move,
time.
and then they
Actually,
might
that
rib him
would
a little bit
suck.
about it.
Yeah, they rib him a little.
But like, obviously, he's done enough friendship with them in the past few years that they're not gonna write him off like many other DCOMs
Right,
do.
the DCOM formula would be like, well, fuck you, we're never talking to you again.
Yeah.
Until he does some small act of
Yes,
kindness.
now you're forgiven. Yeah.
No, this is way more realistic.
Honestly, they really have to focus on bowling right now. So they just
Yeah.
can't focus on that. So back to bowling. Alex is thinking too much, like he's missing his shots because he's all in his head about it. The pressure's getting to him. And then Elisa's like, gives him shit for ditching them, but he's like, I already said I'm sorry. Like, yeah. And Dad comes in to get them to prep for the bowling ball into the party. And they have so many fun lights, and we get a little montage of like lights, fog, and balloons, and it's like, whoa, look at this place. And they say, yeah, this is cool, Dad. This is what it was like in the glory days. It's like, yeah, but like with more lights. Hopefully this
more
works. He's like, hopefully this works. If not, it was a great run. And the dad says, tonight, don't worry about the alley. Just have fun, my boy. And then everyone starts rolling in, and Todd makes them change the music to like generic rock music. And the kids start bowling, but Alex isn't there, which is kind of
Like, where's Alex?
Todd starts showing off, and he's bowling, and Elisa and Ken are like, ugh, whatever. And then Todd grabs the mic, and he's like, gather around, everyone. Welcome to the first weekly bowling ball.
Next week is totally going to be as popping as this one after the big event.
Not only will you find me and Alex on lane 8, but we'll have it with some extreme style. Come on out, Alex. And then Alex comes in wearing a plain sweater and sunglasses.
So yeah, they're just both wearing sunglasses.
Yeah,
'Cause-
he's wearing a normal sweater instead of a bowling shirt. And Alex's friends are like, oh my god, he's changed.
This is his cool kid outfit. This
No,
is
it's very
funny,
funny
yeah.
that it's just like they wear their sunglasses at night.
Yeah, this is the signal of his assimilation into the cool kids.
It's
this
just like-
plain shirt.
It's just like in How to Build a Better Boy. Their style was already very bright and like dresses, like, very DCOM. And then later in the movie, I forgot the girl's name, but one of the main girls who had the fake boyfriend comes in with a new dress and like, whoa, you look different now. You took off your glasses and you're wearing a different dress. She's like, yeah, I got new clothes. And it's like, that looks exactly the same. As what
Still
you're wearing
very clearly
before.
the same
And
person.
this is just like, oh, you're wearing a sweater. You've changed, bro. And a direct quote from Delia. I'm so bummed.
Everyone's at the bowling alley.
And I love Delia. I'm so bummed.
I'm so bummed.
And then Alex and Todd bowl and they show off. And Alex asks the rest of the kids if they're having fun, and they're like, yeah, but the music sucks. And
Where's our
Alex,
swing music?
yeah, where's my swing music? But
This music's not 50 years old.
Alex is just excited that it's working at all. So. After the party, Alex is taking out a bag of trash, and he overhears Lauren talking with Flip and what was the other guy's name?
Reggie.
Leo.
Leo.
So Lauren's talking with Flip and Leo, and this is the
This is
most
so
confusing
out of
part.
pocket.
It's so out of pocket for Lauren. So like Lauren comes out and she says, "Whoa, that was so fun. This is so cool."
They're all, so yeah, this is where the conversation starts.
It
Yes.
starts with Lauren saying that was fun. This place, like, who knew this place was so cool? And Flip says, "Yeah, but I'm so sick of Alex. Once a geek, always a geek." And then Lauren says, "Well, after the apple, things will go back to normal, so you don't have to hang out with him." Stop complaining. And it's like, Lauren, what the fuck? Like, you were just saying this place is cool. You've been really nice to Alex the whole time and encouraging and inviting him to parties, and it didn't seem two-faced. It seemed genuine. And now she's like, well, we won't have to hang out with him anymore after the apple.
The movie's really just trying to like drive home the lesson, like don't abandon your friends. These other people are fake.
Don't trust popular kids. They're never nice.
Every DCOM was written by
Social outcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flip says, yeah, I guess it's worth it if we win, but I still don't have to like them. And then Alex is sad. Inside, the dad is cleaning up, and Todd's also there, and he's like, yeah, I bet people will come back now. And then he leaves. He's like, bye, Alex. And Alex is like, yeah, see you at practice. And Dad's like, oh, Alex asks his dad, did you see Elisa and the rest of them leave? And Dad's like, yeah, an hour ago. Why? And Alex is like, just wondering. Man, I hate this Apple stuff. It makes everything so different. And Dad's like, but it doesn't have to make you different.
It's like it's some like stage piece of
Yeah.
tone, yeah.
So now at bowling practice, Alex is off his game and he's giving all the kids attitude as they're trying to help him. But Todd is looking pretty good. He got a 217. It's pretty good. That's
that's
three
a
off.
great score.
That's-
Good job, Todd.
That's 3 off what Elisa was
Yeah.
bragging about earlier.
So yeah, you know everyone who was like talking about, oh, we just put the most athletic kid in bowling. It does work.
It does work.
Within DCOM logic, yeah.
When you have a full month to
Again, I
prepare.
do think like there is physical skill within bowling, and a month is a long time to get adequately good. You're probably not going to be elite, but like,
And he started hitting a few pins. Like, he didn't start in the gutter.
yeah,
That's true.
he's got a good
yeah.
baseline.
Ken is like, wow, I'm actually impressed. Like, I didn't think I would be impressed. And then the mayor rolls in with the principal, and they have new uniforms.
Do you think this will be the thing that breaks the camel's back?
Shockingly not, right? Shockingly, yes. So their uniform is literally just a t-shirt. It's a red t-shirt. By the way, West Appleton is red, and East Appleton is green.
Kelsey appreciated it because they're apple colors.
Colors. I love that they have apple colors for their town. Okay. So it's literally just like a red shirt. And on the back it says like West Appleton. And it's so
It's a
dumb.
bad shirt, to be
It's a
fair to
bad
him.
It is ugly.
Yeah.
But like, it's also just a t-shirt.
It's just a shirt, yeah.
Yeah,
You can just
so
sleep in it.
they all hate it except for Todd. He's just happy that they look like a team now
Mm.
because they all have the same color on, I guess. Alex tells his dad the uniforms stink. It's nothing special, is it? And then Todd tells them another caveat to the competition, right? You know, the mayors just keep adding shit to it and more stakes. And he says the winner gets to name the new school either East Appleton Junior High or West Appleton Junior High based on who wins. That's crazy. So Alex says, now it's the Mighty Apple and the school. Todd says, don't wimp out on me now. We're so close and so good. Like, Todd keeps encouraging the other kids, like, you guys are really good. It's cute. He's, like, actually a good sports leader, which makes sense because he's won a lot of sports stuff. Except for the beginning when he was giving them shit, but now he's good. And then freeze frame on Alex with the voiceover. Y'all remember that this happens in the movie? Like, it's been a while. He says, that was my final straw. My old friends hate me. My new friends aren't even my friends at all. This is dumb. They bet the school on us and they gave us all they gave us was this junk. All they care about is winning. They don't understand bowling and they don't understand us. And I think it's Delia says, Alex, no one understands those. Or maybe it was Elisa.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just like,
But Alex just storms off. He's like, I quit. I'm never bowling again in my life.
I hate bowling now.
Guy whose whole personality is loving bowling.
Yeah. It's just so funny. It's like, they don't understand us. And it's like, nobody does. We're weird.
And he likes that. No one understands.
Yeah.
bowling.
Again, he flip flops on his emotions and
Yeah.
character ambitions constantly.
Yeah.
He's not a logical character.
It's like,
Alex is mostly a plot device, but he's our beloved plot device.
Oh yeah, and he's a flirt.
Yes.
yeah.
And that's what counts.
Yeah, he's just like, they putting so much pressure on us, and all they gave us were these shitty t-shirts. Like, what the hell? And so he quits, and it's a big debacle, and Delia says, we are not having a good day.
It just zooms out her face, and she says, we are not having a good day. And like, accurate, but who the fuck says that?
And I think it's Todd says, well, at least there's still 4 of us. Like, they can still compete. And then Delia fake faints, and they're like, this is not the time for jokes. And she's like, I thought it would lighten the mood. My fake faints. So now Delia has to bowl.
Also, what made this a bad day other than Alex quitting?
They were just like, Alex was off his game.
He's having an
Yeah.
attitude. Yeah.
They were just like,
Their shirts suck.
yeah, you're not having a good day.
They're having a bad hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny. It comes out of nowhere. Just like, we are not having a good day. Like, thank you, Delia.
Thank you for saying it.
Yeah. So now it's a new day, and it was kind of confusing with the timeline. I think it's the day before the competition. And the 4 remaining bowling kids are taking pictures in their new shirts. And the mayor asks where Alex is, and Todd says he wasn't feeling well. And he says, well, son, ready to lead us to victory? And Elisa chimes in and says, well, sir, we're actually going to let Todd bowl for all of us. That way he can lead and follow. And the mayor's like, well, Todd's been through the fires before. He's a leader, natural born. And Elisa's like, yeah, he's never steered us wrong. And it's just very clear she's being sarcastic, but the mayor doesn't care. Elisa is nervous, but Todd encourages them all and says that they're really good. And they're like, yeah, but the uniforms are a fashion disaster. It just doesn't seem like it's enough. And then the trophy comes in with like it's hidden under like a blanket or something. And they say, yeah, sometimes it isn't.
Everything is getting more real.
It's so dramatic now. My next set of notes I titled Todd Gets Real a Second. Can I be real a second? Just a millisecond. So now Lisa and Ken are in the diner and Todd shows up. And they're not in the red shirts anymore. So I'm like, okay, it's not the day of the competition. Todd opens up about feeling like he can't lose, like it's not allowed for him to lose.
Yeah, his dad would disown him.
He says, I just came here to,
And they're like,
no,
no,
we
we
don't.
literally don't.
We don't know. And Todd says, Elisa, you can bowl a horrible game tomorrow, but at the end of the day, your friends wouldn't care. And that's just so cool. And Elisa says, I want to win. We all do. And Ken says, it's nice having people look at us for once. And Todd says, they'll look at you, win or lose. And Ken says, no, if we lose, we'll get the blame. And you'll be fine. But if we win, they're going to say it's because of you. And you take all the glory. And Todd says, forget about the game. Eventually, people will see you. You're there, and you're real. And Elisa,
Assuming that he's not.
he's like, I put on a facade. Elisa,
Complicated.
yeah, Elisa tells Todd, like, you should go talk to Alex. Like, you should go try and talk to him. Notice how they know that Todd can get through to him because they're
Yes.
boyfriends.
Yes.
And Todd's just talking about, yeah, I can't be my true self.
And Todd's like, yeah, I have something for you, but you're right. I should go talk to Alex first. It's weird that he brings that up. He like looks over at his duffel bag. He's like, yeah, no, I should talk to Alex before I give this to you. Okay, bye.
Just imagine making a social setting where that is what's happening. And it's just like, I have a gift for you. I'm going to talk to someone else before giving it.
Yes.
And they say Golden Boy is human? All right. So then this is the scene where Todd goes and kisses. He talks to Alex. He goes over to Alex's house and he says, I'm sorry everything got messed up. That's all I can say. And he says, that's all right. And then Todd says, I never thought I'd actually like you. I never thought I'd like bowling. All I thought about was winning. And Alex says, we cared about winning too, just not like you. And Todd says, the big difference is I play every sport I can, but not to have fun. It's because I'm good at it. Sometimes it's a blast, but it's not why I'm there. Bowling is fun, so let's just have fun. Todd says, I want you there. If I chase you away, I'm not gonna have any fun at all. And then
That could be my boyfriend.
that could be my boyfriend again. And then Todd shows him the new shirts he got, and they're like actually bowling shirts. And his shirt, or Alex's bowling shirt says Tex.
And he says, because you look like a
It
text.
looks like a Tex. And on the back is like a big cat, and it says Alley Cats. And Todd's gonna be Dirk. Like, apparently
Because he's
Todd-
embracing it now.
Yeah.
It's symbolic.
Todd says, whenever you bowl again, just have fun doing it. Like, he's not saying, like, come back for sure. He's just like, I want you to bowl no matter if it's
Bowl
for the
for
competition
fun.
or not.
Because
yeah.
you love it, and I love you. I mean, what?
I mean, what? I mean, you want to
said that.
kiss? Yeah, and then Todd leaves, and Alex's dad comes out. And he's like, I just got off the phone with Mom. Her and Grandpa are coming back, and they miss you. And Alex says, and I miss bowling.
Them, I miss bowling.
Bowling the way it used to be. And this is where we get the whole story about the baseball, how his dad and the mayor like fucked up the play and they lost the apple and they haven't been friends since. He said letting that happen was the stupidest thing we've ever done. Like not being friends anymore. Not the
double
Yeah,
play,
not the double
yeah.
play. I mean, maybe that was stupid too, but like losing their friendship, and now they're gonna be in-laws because their sons are gonna marry each other, so they'll reconnect. It'll be all right. All right, competition day. Alex's mom and grandpa roll in. The team outside they wait for Alex. They're like, "Is he coming? I don't know." Inside, the mayors shake hands, and then the mayor introduces the competition. It's the last event ever for the Mighty Apple. Winner takes all, and then they reveal the statue.
Oh my god, it's an apple that kind of looks like a bowling ball.
Wow. Now let's bring out the teams for East Appleton. Bowling Wolfpack. And then outside, Alex shows up. Yeah, he's here. And they all head in. Here are the Alley Cats.
We changed our name for the bowling
Which I
team.
guess they were the Wildcats, so now they're just the Alley Cats.
I got the school spirit. We're changing our names.
We're the Alley Cats this time.
Which, I mean, some sports do have different
Yeah.
names in schools.
Sure. Lou commentates on his radio show and goes over the rules again, how it's 4v4. Not really head-to-head, but still head-to-head.
And you could make a substitution, but no way that ever happens.
So then the East kids come over trying to shit talk, but Todd's just like, dude, chill. Like, it's bowling, it's fine. West wins coin toss, and they choose to go second.
Oh my god, West won multiple coin toss.
He pointed out the mayor's like, yeah, that's my boy, he won the coin.
They're like, yeah, Todd's so fucking good at this.
That's what my word was. 50-50 probability.
So then the bowling starts. Ken goes first. Both teams start out really well. It doesn't really matter that Ken goes first because we get a montage and everybody's bowling. After 3 frames, it's tied and they keep bowling. In the middle, there's like a quick little scene where you see Todd misses the 7-10 split.
Oh my god, he misses the 7-10 split.
He's-
No,
he's
everything else is just spares and strikes that we see.
Yeah. But like,
But
he's-
everyone's doing well.
he said he was gonna get in competition because he thrives under pressure, but he didn't get it.
But he
that time.
didn't.
And then it's after the 7th frame. The East is leading by 15, which kind of sounds like a lot, but it's not because there's 4 players, and in bowling you can make that up pretty easy. So yeah. Then entering into the 10th frame, so that's the last frame. The East is still leading, but it's really close.
Yeah.
So the kids are strategizing.
And we have, I believe, 3 bowlers to go.
No, it's just 2 bowlers because it's Alex and then Todd.
Alex and Todd, but there's 1 on East Appleton to go as well.
Oh, okay. So there's
They go one.
You're right. You meant total, not
Yes,
on the
yes,
team.
yes.
Yeah. So there Alex and then the last East bowler and then Todd. So what needs to happen is for the last frame, you actually get
You get 3
3
total
shots?
balls as long as you make a strike or spare, right?
Yeah.
Bowling.
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 So Alex needs 3 strikes in order for them to win. And then all Todd needs is a strike or a spare.
/ if the other, this is presuming that the other bowler that's remaining is like,
They also get 3 strikes.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're going on like the worst case scenario / best case scenario.
Which
Everyone
is smart
can
to do, yeah. Because they're like, okay, assuming that they get perfect, we need to be perfect, and then all we need is a strike or spare from Todd.
Yeah.
Which is
Which
good
a
position.
professional bowler will get the majority of the time.
Yes. So
And
they're
so
like,
will these middle schoolers.
and they're like, can you really do that, Alex? And he's like, please.
Please.
Yes, I
Please.
can.
And
So then-
he's like, should I do this between my legs?
Yeah, he gets the first strike, and then he comes back and he's like, all right, what should I do between my legs?
And everyone's like,
No.
you were just like having a whole existential crisis about it not being fun anymore, and you're trying to have fun, but like,
Please be so
please
for real.
focus up a little.
Please be so for real right now. Like, we need to win. So then Alex gets his 3 strikes, and the camera shot, like, behind the bowling ball as it rolls down the alley is so funny.
We don't mention it much in here. The cinematography in this movie is actually really kind of fun and funny the whole time. There's shaky cam throughout. It feels really like amateur in a fun way.
For being such an all over the place movie, it's also very like on theme the whole time. Like they figured out their shtick and then they really stuck with
We
it.
didn't mention this during the whole bowling ball scene, the specifically the party.
Yeah.
They show this neon sign that says bowling 3 separate times as like a video clip, and it's really funny to me because it's just clearly not needed.
Bowling.
Bowling.
In case you didn't know, it's a movie about bowling.
Okay, so they're like, all right, now it's time for the East. And it's just like so fast. Strike, strike, strike. They don't waste any time on showing the strikes. There's like, you got 3 strikes. Fuck, all
Yeah,
right.
that's what they do. Yeah.
All right. So now Todd just needs a spare to win, right?
And notably, if he gets worse than a spare, if he gets a 9, it's a loss.
They lose.
Which mathematically does work in bowling. I had to bring out my mental calculator and all that because I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't make sense. But no, it does because he's working off of a strike.
So he acts very confident in the crowd, like, yeah. And then he turns to his team and he's like, I should not have gone last. What am I doing?
They put him last because, yeah, he's the one who's dealt with sports pressure by far the most.
Yeah.
Thrive under pressure.
And then
he does.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
smart.
he cares about this one more.
Yeah.
But it's different than playing through like a basketball game or football where the time's counting down and you're just in it. It's like you have to prepare yourself and bowl. It's totally different than all the other sports he's done.
So much more thinking involved.
Yes,
Yeah. You
yeah.
can't just like instinct it.
But they encourage him. So Todd bowls and it ends in the 7-10 split. Which
Uh-oh.
really looks bad.
That's basically the only thing that could have happened. He could have guttered the ball and still felt decently odds about getting a
Losing in a
strike.
strike, yeah.
This
is
is
like
the
the worst.
worst
The
case
worst case scenario.
Yeah. So he can't just knock down one pin. He needs the
And we've
spare.
never seen him hit a 7-10 split in this movie.
Mhm.
Lou says he's having liver failure.
Yeah, all kinds of health problems. He also says he's having apoplexy.
He's like, if there's a doctor out there, please come. But he's too much of a, like, he's too committed to his show to stop commentating.
Todd freaks out. They're going to lose. But Delia says, no, we're not. I can make the shot.
Delia's just like, that.
And Todd looks at her freaking out like, you can make the shot? She's like, yeah. But the crowd wants Todd. But Delia is confident. And I just love how he looks at her and says, you can make the shot. And she's like, yes, I can. He goes, all right, we're subbing. Like, he has so much trust in her that it's true. And
That's what a good leader does, is trust the people that you're with to do what they can do.
And Todd's dad freaks out. He says, get back in there. I'm ordering you. You're the best shot in there. And Todd says, why? Because you want me to be? It doesn't work that way, Dad. Sometimes I'm not the best, and you gotta let that be okay. Now go and cheer for the whole team, Dad, not just me.
Go off, Todd.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. You got this, Delia. So Delia goes up to the line. She puts the ball down, and she checks for wind.
In this indoor bowling alley. They want to know if the AC's running.
God, I love Delia.
She sticks her finger in the hole. And
This
she
is-
spins the
Okay,
ball.
this is gonna work, obviously. But this is the most bullshit. This would
Say, we tried this for real life, and it didn't work.
it didn't work in the slightest. This is so dumb.
She puts her finger in the ball and she spins it, and everyone is silent.
You could hear a pin drop.
And then she spins the ball and she pushes it. And
And get ready for genuinely like a minute of the movie being watching this ball just roll down the lane. You think it will stop. In actuality, it would stop. It doesn't have
Yeah.
enough forward momentum.
No.
The lane's not oiled up enough.
The way it keeps spinning back and forth, but there's no bumpers. It would have just gone in the gutter, right? But it keeps changing.
She read that
direction.
oil pattern so clearly.
It's crazy.
This was all the mathematical computer work coming into fruition.
Yeah, this is what she was doing on her computer program the whole time.
Yeah, Delia just smiles and walks away. And
Yeah,
sits
she's
by
just not
herself.
even watching the
watch-
ball. She
yeah.
just sits there smiling like, "Oh my God,"
She goes over by the team and watches with them.
and they're like,
Yeah.
Todd asks her like, "You've done this before, right?"
Wouldn't you like to know? And everyone's watching. It takes so long. Lou is freaking the fuck out. It's so slow. And the ball finally makes it.
I would like to point this out first off as well. You think that the ball is going to hit both pins based on like the
Yeah.
setup that's going on. No, they get the spare in the normal way, which is the one pin hitting another pin.
Yeah. So right before it hits the pin, it fucking freeze frames.
It's honestly like my biggest complaint of the movie. It really takes you out of it.
Spend 2 minutes watching a ball roll down the lane and then freeze frame right before it hits it, which is kind of funny, but also like what the fuck.
And it's for no real purpose. Like
no.
Alex is like,
Gotcha.
I know I did this for fun, but like I really cared about this.
We did want it this time. So then it goes back and it hits the pin and it makes it spin and it hits the other pin and they win. Whoa.
And everyone
won.
rushes the lanes.
They all slide down. No, they don't. But that would have been cool if they did. Like they storm the lanes. They rush the lanes, whatever. Alex hugs his dad and he says, yeah, bowling is still fun. And the mom is also there. She's been there and they act like she's a character. She's not.
She was we talked over her like briefly being like welcomed by the dad.
Yeah. And she was there during the match and everything. Todd hugs his dad. He said, we did it, Dad. We did.
The team.
And his dad says, I'm sorry. I thought you liked the attention. I forgot the pressure. Todd says, I learned that sports can be fun, not just an intense game about winning. I mean, I still want to win, but I really like this having fun business. And Dad says, I know. I'm sorry. It should be fun. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of all of you. We won. We won the school. And Todd says, hey, Dad.
I'm going to ruin your re-election chances real quick.
He said, we're the ones that played. We should decide what's what. Which, by the way, what about all the other sports teams that won half the games?
Yeah.
Fuck them. We won the
No one should say anything against Todd because he won all of them.
Yeah. Just beats Todd. He didn't win the last frame, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he contributed.
Yeah.
Probably got a higher total score than Delio would have.
And you know what? He got the winning basket at the basketball game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and there was the contrast. I didn't mention it, but the contrast of him saying, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball in basketball, but then he gives away the final frame.
Growth.
Yeah.
He trusts his team.
Let's go,
Yeah.
Todd.
Good job, Todd.
Yeah. So he's like, we should decide the name of the school. And he says, you don't want the school to be West Appleton Junior High?
Not West Appleton Junior High.
And Todd's like, you think someone should lose their identity over something as fun as bowling? He's like,
That's a clear line.
like as if a single person is losing their identity.
That's a bad web-ass sentence.
According to the middle school you go to.
Yes, hello, my name is Kelsey, and I go to East Appleton. And that is who I am.
Defining characteristic.
But then my
those West Appletonians.
I mean, that is the town.
Yeah, that is the town.
and my bowling team lost. So now I'm West Appleton.
I don't even know who I am.
But then the other mayor comes over and he's like, congrats, it's gonna be West Appleton Junior High. And he's like, no, we're not gonna name the school that. And it's like, what? And he's like, we're not naming the school at all. And Alex says, yes, we are. We're gonna name it Appleton Central. And everyone's
been
like,
Appleton.
that's good. Like that, it's just Appleton. Like that makes sense. That's
Yeah.
probably what it's gonna be originally.
And everyone's like, that's incredible. What a creative name.
Yeah.
What if they named it like Bananaville?
That'd be cool. The sequels they team together to beat Banana. So now in our conclusion, the kid's like, we need some music, fun, and style. So they play the same swing song.
Right down the middle.
And they start dancing and bowling, and even the adults bowl.
And everyone's doing silly shots.
Yeah, you say like the grandpa with his crutches.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's fun. Right there in the middle. And they do silly tricks and stuff. And the dads are friends again. And Alex voices over. You can always find common ground if you look hard enough. Sometimes worlds do collide. If you have beef with someone different than you, settle it in the alley.
Yeah, go and have a fight in the next streets.
I meant to bully that, you know?
You should have been more clear about that, Alex.
And that is Alley Cat Strike.
Banger.
Absolute
good.
banger.
Like, I knew I wasn't gonna dislike it or like be upset on a rewatch, but every time we go through some of these and it's a film that I come in with a positive, I get worried that's not gonna hit the same. This hits the exact same. Again, this is Disney made a gay, like young, interracial romance film in the year 2000 and swept it under the rug. Like
It's a bowling
it's a
movie.
bowling movie. But like it's just there, able to be seen. I find it impossible to like read that as anything different, and it's incredible for that. But it's also incredible for the fact that the dialogue is stupid in the exact way that works for me. It's very quotable, very dumb. And it's just a good time, and it scratches the sports movie itch genuinely for me as well. I'm a guy like sports movies are a guilty pleasure of mine in a lot of ways, where I'm like, yeah, that hits the vibe that I need a lot of the time, and this movie is that genuinely, while also being stupid and decobs in the way that I like it.
Yeah. I just love the wild energy of this movie and the two mains just like
Yeah.
being so in love with each other. And so and Delia is just wild. Like
Yeah.
there's so much to love about this movie.
There's
It's so
stuff
fun.
that this movie could improve on for sure, but I also worry that improving any of the aspects would like hurt the vibe of the
Right.
film.
And that's kind of like the perfect DCOM to me is one that has problems because that's what a DCOM is. Like if it's just a good movie, to me it automatically gets ranked down a little bit because I want it to suck a little bit.
It's like, yeah, there's good movies out there. No decom's gonna be Citizen Kane, you know?
So this is why this is my favorite DCOM because it's the perfect amount of being a genuinely good movie and also like, oh my god, did you even make it to the final cut of the movie? Is this person a professional actor and how? And I gotta say, I look for a gay conspiracy in everything, and to have my straight roommates wholeheartedly confirm that this is not my secret gay conspiracy, and it is in fact basically textually there. It's good job, Disney.
Again, it's wild that like I haven't heard any other outside reporting talk about how fucking gay this movie is.
Like a lot of people talk about like Cadet Kelly and how gay that one is, and I don't see that one as much.
Yeah, I
As
really don't see
other
Cadet Kelly that much at all.
This is palpable. It's like crazy. Like
Go out of your way to not see how queer this
Yeah,
movie is.
for
Like,
real.
you have to like really
And
have
like
the
it might
blinders
just be
on.
that this isn't that popular of a decom
Yeah.
that people aren't watching it as like a childhood staple and recognizing stuff. Like if you go through and watch every decom, I am not sure there's a more gay decom than this. And there are gay characters in some of the more recent
That's
decoms.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's literally Step Brad.
Except Dave.
That Dave. That Dave
From
is
Under Wraps
Yeah,
yeah,
from
2.
Under Wraps
literally in
2.
Under Wraps two men get married, and this
Yeah,
movie is gayer than
I want them to make an Alley Cat Strike remake and keep it exactly the same.
Just shot for shot.
Just at the end.
just
yeah.
also they kiss.
Yeah. Do it, cowards.
Them not kissing, like it's
still
still
cool.
fine, you know? Like it still
Yeah.
works as a you can read this completely being told this is a romance movie and it changes nothing, like you don't have to make any adjustments.
They don't kiss in High School Musical either.
Yeah.
Like they kiss
Like-
in the cheek in that one, but like yeah. I think what they should do is just take the actors now, like they're adults, right? Just add an epilogue scene
Hell yes.
where they're like married.
Yeah.
And they also kiss.
They hold up the bowling alley, yeah.
Yes, it'd be so cute. So final Jank House ranking for this was 3. There's only 2 movies above it. Crazy. Benji, you have it at 6.
I mean, yeah, still very high.
Yes.
Like genuinely on this rewatch and stuff, I'd be like, oh, I could potentially put that higher, but at the same time, I really like everything above that.
Yeah.
So in my S tier,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Don't hate me. I have it a little lower at 17.
I do hate you. Sorry.
17's still very high in the grand scheme of
Still
things.
in my A tier.
I
Like-
ran propaganda so hard for that movie to be ranked 3 for Jank House. I'm
Yeah.
so proud. I'm
Yeah.
so proud.
That was your doing. Like, everyone has something that bumps everything up a bit more.
Yeah, so I haven't lowered just because I'm very musical biased.
Mhm.
So
And it's very not a musical.
yeah, so like basically all the musicals are above it just because I love musicals. But still, it's like
Imagine if this
15.
was a musical.
Oh my god, he was
They-
in Cheetah Girls later.
They end on a big group number of right down the middle.
Choreography to be bad.
Right down the middle.
Can you imagine get your head in the game but bowling themed?
Oh my god.
People just dropping bowling balls on their feet on accident.
They try and dribble a bowling ball and just lands and you're like,
Like, dude, try rolling it. Like, he broke the floor.
I'm curious where this will rank in our combined rankings, and I guess we'll see next because we're doing that next.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be one.
I
it'll
don't
be
think it
high.
will be one, but I bet our combined opinion will have this in the top 10.
I think
Honestly,
it'll be high.
because it's really fun. It really is.
It's a good movie. I'm gonna send in hate mail if you guys don't rank it appropriate.
Yeah,
I have an
that's a fan
idea.
mail. If you want to send us fan mail, email us at the DCOM2@gmail.com.
Yeah, I have a prediction of where I think it's gonna go, but we can save it for the mini-sode. So yeah, tune in 1 week for the mini-sode because that's how we do it.
Yeah.
So next week you'll know the answer.
And in 2 weeks,
Our next episode, so we roll our wheel of DCOMs and we also predict what we think it's going to be. And if you're right, you get $1.
Yes.
Well, actually, you'll get $2 because we'll
'Cause-
each give you $1.
So-
Wow.
Yeah.
pick a movie.
Pick
And
a
I know
movie
you
that
might
we
not
haven't
know
done.
all the movies we've done so far,
I
so we'll
don't.
tell you.
So just pick one and we'll tell you if we've done it.
Just for the irony, I'm gonna pick Rip Girls because no, you haven't done it.
True.
That's valid.
You'll come
It would
back
be
and
very funny if I had to come back right away. Yes. If I got to come back right away, this was lovely.
Yeah, by the way, thank you so much for being
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Talk about my gay movie anytime.
Is there anything you want to shout out at the end of this podcast for all your fans out there? Any?
Shout out to my cat, Piper.
Oh, yeah.
Piper lived with us too in Jake House and was there for DCOMs.
To my partners who also used to live with us.
No, just Piper. You shouted out your cat first.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So my prediction is Hatching Pete.
Oh God! I'm scheduled to do Hatching Pete with
No, I don't.
I'm scheduled to do Hatching Pete with you guys. I hate that movie.
Yes, you can.
I will do Was the Night.
Oh God, I hate it.
Oh, that one sucks. All right.
We have just really bad movies. You can't do another good one after Rip Girl or not Rip Girls. Jesus.
After
Alley
Alley
Cat Strike.
Yeah. All right, spinning the wheel. Oh my goodness gracious! It landed on Descendants 2, but that means we would do Descendants.
Oh my god, we're actually going to start Descendants?
It's been so long. I think we've done like every other series. We haven't done Descendants yet. Like we did the first Zombies.
We did the Zombies pretty recently. We're
We did-
getting to the modern trilogies.
Descendants was so beloved in Jank House.
I love
we
Descendants
love
so much.
Descendants so much.
I
This
love
is
it so
exciting.
much.
Descendants.
Oh,
That's a big one.
Excited. This
Wow.
is good. This is good because we're going.
I thought we were going to get something bad because we just did a fun one, but no.
This
No,
is
we get
good.
another good one.
This is good because we're going to the Descendant Zombies concert, and so we have to prepare.
All right, well, tune in 2 weeks to hear us talk about Descendants.
Goodbye.
Scenes from our next episode.
I'm rotten to the core, rotten to the core, rotten to the core. Who could ask for more?
Man, don't you love Ben in this movie? He sure can sing, act, and dance. He's so good at all
Oh
of
my
them.
god, there's Kristen Chenoweth. What the hell?
Yeah, why is Kristen Chenoweth in there? Oh, she's doing a song. Wait, why is this the worst one in the movie? That seems wrong.
RIDICULOUS.
It's
Ridiculous.
Judge.
Ridiculous.
And I'll give him a kingdom for just one kid. Be our guest. Be our guest. Wait a second. This is the worst song. I don't know why I'm being such a hater on this. It's a good movie.
Set it off. Oh yeah.
Wait, is the music sentence one just bad?
All of it. I'm rotten to the core.
Wow. Fun fact. Same songwriter as the person who wrote "I'm a bitch." Yeah, genuinely.
Genuinely.
Incredible.